Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Relix, and today we have for you the second part of our Holo Emblem, the Search for Seiso tier list, unit tier list, my apologies. And of course I have Kiara here with me as well. She is always my buddy, and she will be with me all the way. Yeah, so as you guys can see, we do have a part 1. If you guys did not see my part 1, please go check it out. I did a little bit of organizing on that thing. It took me a while to actually make that video, so just FYI that video was made a little bit while ago. And then of course I'm working now on the second one, in which case this one should be out sooner than later for you guys, obviously. And yeah, as you guys can see, we have organized about half the roster of the entire game. So you guys can see we have an S tier, great tier, above average, a niche or average, kind of like your C rank type players, your bad characters, and then of course the bench / unused characters that I have yet to test out, or I have not been able to use them pretty much the entire time because I didn't have the chance, or I elected not to. So that's where we're at. You guys can see good variety. We have some in every category, as unfortunate as that may be for the bottom 2 categories, but we will continue to do the rest of the characters and go over other things about the game as well along the way. But let's continue on now with the second part. Where we left off with Marine. So just FYI real quick, like I said, it's been a while. It's been a while since I did the first part for me. I uploaded more recently than not, so if I do things a little bit different, I do apologize, but I will try to do things exactly the same as I did in part 1. But yeah, let's get started. So first off, we start off with Marine. So as you guys can see on the screen, Marine is the level 15 pirate. She starts in your army as soon as you start the chapter. You get her. As far as pirate stats goes, she's actually really good. 18 strength with 18 speed, phenomenal. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better axe user. I mean, that's just incredible. Contrary to Suisei, who is a regular fighter, Suisei does not get as much speed, whereas Marine has speed. The difference is Marine doesn't have skill, which is kind of important for her. Not to mention she doesn't have the best con either, so it's not like she can wield all axes in the game. So there is ups and downs to Marine. She also lacks luck per the norm, just like Suisei does. However, Marine does have a little bit extra defense that helps her out, and 6 resistance is not too bad. 37 HP. As a pirate, she will get more HP than not. That's kind of like her only gimmick. HP and strength. That's just how pirates work. But if Marine levels up pretty decent, she can be a really strong axe user, especially if you, like me, if you lost Suisei. Marine can actually prove to be a decent axe user if you need it. Of course, as we've mentioned before, there are other axe users like Noelle, Kiara. They can also provide that kind of axe using boost. Even going into the future, Kyla. There are other units that can use axes. Marine is just one of those options if you happen just to lose Suisei. Otherwise, personally, I think the lack of skill does bring Marine down. I'm not gonna lie, it does bring her down a little bit. She does tend to miss, but the speed and strength is nice to have. So if you can get the first shots off, then you're probably in good hands, especially after you make her a berserker. She'll probably be able to get a little bit more crits. Now granted, again, crits are based on skill, so the lack of skill, she'll have less crits than usual. But overall, I think she is still a decent unit. She does come with the skill White Pool, Camaraderie, Thideology, Cultured, Nice Person, and Nice Thighs. And as you guys know, we went over the Thighs type skills already. Very powerful set of skills there. That is one of Marine's benefits as well. Being able to move again is fantastic. If possible, getting 2 attacks in one turn, that's amazing. Especially if you make her a warrior, for example, instead of a berserker, then even better, right? Because then she can use bows, she can attack from range, and bows are a little bit more accurate than axes, not to mention a little bit lighter. So that will definitely help her if you plan to make her a warrior instead of a berserker. That's what I did, unfortunately. I think looking back on it now, I would have made her berserker instead, but all in all, it worked out. She wasn't my best character by any means, but she wasn't bad. And I underutilized the white pool skill in my Seiso run, so just like Ame, use that skill. Use the white pool skill. It is absolutely powerful. Plus 5 attack, plus 5 attack speed while adjacent to Marine. It's just pretty much like using Ame. It's like using Fauna, their adjacent skills. It's very useful skill. You should always utilize it to the maximum if you can. And then of course we have Camaraderie, which recovers 10% HP each turn if there are no allies within 2 tiles. That is not so great. 10% HP is not a lot, and therefore she's not really going to really utilize it. So if she can get rid of that skill, I don't know if she can, but if she can, you can get rid of the Camaraderie skill and replace it with something else, maybe like Axe Fair. That might actually help her do some damage, extra damage. Obviously, the nice personality skill is not very useful, so obviously get rid of that one as well if you can. I'm not entirely sure if what skills Marines can drop, because I actually don't remember. It's been a while since I did my Seiso run, because I did not use Marine in my Yabai run, because I felt like I didn't need to, so long as I had Suisei. Which, in the end, that's kind of exactly what happened. Suisei couldn't get killed, so Marine stayed in, or stayed out. Yeah, so she comes with a killer axe. She also has a hand axe and a Seisoda with C axes as a level 15 pirate. Again, pretty typical, right? 15 pirate. She's going to have C ranks. The killer axe is nice. The hand axe is good, and then Seisoda for healing. Overall, perfect unit to start a chapter with. She unfortunately does not learn any new skills though. Personal skills, that is. She obviously will learn class skills, but not personal skills. And that's kind of disappointing. But she does come with 6 automatically as a level 15 pirate, so that's the alternative. That's really good. Overall, personally, I don't know. Marine, I like Marine. She's one of the JP members I do like. And, she has great music, by the way. That's one reason I decided to use her in my first run. However, if you have Suisei, there is no reason to use Marine. Unless you made Suisei a warrior, for example. Marine's benefit is she's a pirate. She can go in water. But that's also why I made Suisei a berserker, so she can go on water too. But however, in the game, there's not too many moments where going in water actually matters, except for the chapter after we recruit Marine, which is the pirate ships. All the ships coming in from all directions. Now, even then, you don't really want to go in the water anyways, because it will slow you down. The monsters will swarm you, and in Marine's case, she would actually die. So personally, Marine doesn't really have any use in this game per se. But you do need to keep her alive for a guided chapter, specifically for the Super Noel guided chapter. She is decent. I would say straight up average character, right? There's really no right or wrong with her, in my opinion. If you need someone to fill in a roster spot, specifically axes, she's perfect. She fits the role perfectly. But unless you need something else, you probably aren't going to put in Marine in the first place. But that's just my opinion. I think she's a decent character. However, I cannot go above and beyond and support her enough, so I have to put her in the average section. So we are now expanding the average tier list to the second row. Like I said, I can't put her in the bad. I think her skills are really useful, and her stats are, especially her bases, they're really amazing. However, in general, she cannot go above and beyond. She can't be one of your greatest units. Her growth rates are not the best. They're pretty average, and therefore, she is average. She is average at best, and she will just be a fill-in if you need someone to fill in a roster spot. Moving on, though, we have onto the next chapter. We get Kobo right away. She boards our boat, and she is there with us. I cannot find her on my thing. Okay, so Kobo, an interesting character for sure. Yeah, as the Hololive daughter of my Oshi, Kiara, I am saddened that I could not bring myself to use Kobo, neither in my Seiso run or my Yabai run. I look at her stats. Level 1 Druid, right? 31 HP is not a lot. It is not a lot. 19 Magic is okay, but I think when Mage units transform into their second class, they should get Magic bonuses, right? So technically, Kobo looks more like a shaman that transformed at like level 15. You got her level 15, and then she used a promo. It's okay. I think the magic's okay, especially for someone who uses dark magic. The skill is alright. Speed is good. However, even though she has 18 speed, she only has 5 con. Dark magic weighs quite a bit, if not just magic in general weighs a little bit, so she will get weighed down by most magic, and that is not good. Otherwise, she's going to be stuck using weaker magic, which is not good to match her magic strength. Luck is 10, defense is just defense is whatever, right? Magic users are usually a little bit more squishy than not, and then 17 resistance, 6 movement. So it's not the worst. It's not really the worst, right? But it is pretty bad in the fact that she doesn't have any con. That's the worst thing, right? She's pretty much a child. She is very lightweight, so it makes her. To me, it makes her difficult to use right away, considering the enemies you'll be facing may come with a little bit extra speed, specifically on Yabai. Seiso, I'm pretty sure you can use her, no problem, and she'll be okay. But she is not the best magic user out there, especially with all the magic users we have gotten so far. I think you have other options, and then of course we get more as well in the future. So me personally, I didn't use Kobo. So unfortunately, I cannot rate her personally, but I don't think she is the best unit. Now, she does come with the Thunderstorm skill, Malefic Aura, and Drive Magic. Drive Magic, allies within 2 spaces receive +4 magic. That's fantastic. Absolutely amazing, actually. But again, she's going to be in the back. She's not going to be in the front, so it may be hard to get her to support her allies, especially with all the way the enemies move, with a lot of movement in the first beginning chapters that we get her. The Thunderstorm skill, which is her skill, if weapon weight is greater than the enemy's weapon weight, damage +2, +15 hit, and +5 crit. Now, that to me is weird because that means you want her to hold the heaviest magic tomes possible, but that's also going to weigh her down and she's going to lose speed. So you're sacrificing speed for a couple damage, a better hit rate, and a little bit more crit. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think that's the way it should be. Now granted, in partnership with her Drive Magic, she could work together with other mages. She'll do the first hit from range, probably not be attacked, usually by like a physical weapon user, and then someone else can come in with magic and slaughter the person in her stead. That is something that you could possibly do with Kobo. I don't deny that, but me personally, I don't think it's wise. I think there's too many risks at her point that she will die, especially as a level 1 druid with very low HP. There's no point in putting her at risk. So me personally, I don't think she's the best unit to use, but I can see how she can be used. She also learns the Barricade skill, and she learns Lightweight. So as we know from Nene, Lightweight, if she only has 3 items in her inventory, she does get extra attack speed, which will help her for sure, but then she also has the barricade skill, which will basically counter out the lack of speed that she will have from carrying heavier weapons. So it's a give and take. I don't know. Her skills are a little mixed for me. She can go either or. She could be a frontliner, but at risk, or she could just be in the back as a support unit. Honestly, it's really up to your preference. She comes with water and then Nosferatu, so standard magics, typical shaman stuff. She comes with C Dark and D Anima with E staves. So as a level 1 druid with only E staves, that's a little unfortunate. So her utility is a little lackluster. As far as I remember, I did try to use her to heal, I think, a little bit, and she didn't train it that fast, so it's going to be difficult to make her use staves in the first place. Definitely a magic user, but it's not the worst unit out there, but I would say she's not the best. If I had to rate her, I would probably put her in average, maybe bad, I don't know. Again, I didn't use her, so in all fairness, I have to put her in the bench stats unused, because I never used her. But based on her bases, based on her recruitment time, it's not the best, and I think there are better units out there to use. So that's just my opinion, though. Next up, we have Chloe. We get her on the same exact chapter, as well as one other unit as well. But starting off with Chloe, she is an interesting character. She is a level 5 assassin. By the way, her portrait looks perfect. I'm going to throw her up there from her Hololive picture. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. She's a level 5 assassin. She has 26 skill and 27 speed. So again, just like Zeta, she has a skill and speed that, technically speaking, assassins cannot have at this level, because they don't get the promo bonuses for skill and speed, I believe. I'm pretty sure they don't. So therefore, she already has more skill and speed than any level 20 thief could possibly have. Now, on the downside, as we can see from her, the color of the stats, her defense and resistance are pretty bad. 13-11 to start at base is okay, but considering the rating in which they will probably grow is not going to be high, that leaves her to be very squishy. And again, 10 luck. Assassins need a little bit of luck to help with their avoid if they don't have defense. She doesn't have that, and therefore she's a little bit lackluster. Her strength's okay. You would hope that her strength would be a little bit higher, considering her luck, defense, and resistance is so low. But overall, she is actually a pretty good assassin unit. I would say this is pretty average for a Fire Emblem assassin. You can't really go wrong with this. Now on the bright side, she does have 15 con. That is one of the highest cons we've seen in the game. Obviously outside of the big heavy units that have 18, 17, 16. So having 15 con as an assassin, and then 2 as a sword user, that's fantastic. She will be able to wield pretty much every single sword in the game. I don't think there's a sword she can't wield, as far as I remember. So that's actually really, really good. She also has an aid of 14. Now, granted, with the 15 con, that means she can't be picked up by most units as well. So that's the drawback, right? But she can help other units. She has 14 aid. Most units in this game are actually under 14. So that came out wrong. Not age, under 14 con. So therefore, she can help rescue a lot of the roster units. She also comes with a few skills as well, which makes her very interesting. She is a very interesting unit. She comes with the skill Gridmaster, Lethality, Swap, Reposition, and Steal. So of course, as a thief, of course she's going to have Steal. Contrary to Zeta, who doesn't have Steal as a rogue, right? Kind of weird. Technically, they should switch the skills, because Zeta is the thief, right? Not to mention she did steal Hikoro's Gambit. So technically, Zeta should have Steal. Chloe should have Assassinate. But that doesn't matter. Chloe has the better skill in Lethality, which gives automatic instant kill if you get the lethality skill to activate, which it is skill based, therefore she has a lot of skill. It is one of her best stats. Very good. She should activate it a lot of times. She also comes with Gridmaster, which movement skills, which she has 2 of them, do not end her turn. She can actually take multiple actions in a single turn, in which she can use swap just like Amit, or she can use reposition just like Raine. So she is a very interesting maneuverable character. Now that is to say, if you need that kind of stuff. Personally, as an assassin, I don't think you really need those skills. Usually assassins would be considered one of your more tankier type characters because they should be able to avoid enemies. However, with the lack of luck, which luck does provide a little bit of avoidability, I think there's a little bit lacklusterness here. I think she is a little bit frail for a tanking, especially in the game for Holo Emblem. I've experienced, at least in my experience, I feel like the enemies have a little bit extra hit rates, so Chloe won't be the best unit on the front lines like in a normal Fire Emblem game, but it's not to say she's not very useful either. I mean, partner with the lethality skill, and then of course all the movement skills too. There's a lot of things you can do on your turns with her, and you know, again, partner her up with any of the other rally skill users, or even tanks in the front lines, healers even. You know, she can do a lot of good things for your army, no doubt. Yeah, she does learn Blood Tide at level 30, and Life and Death at 35. So a couple more good skills coming in late, but I unfortunately didn't have the chance to use Chloe. Again, there was Zeta. Again, she leaves, but she does come back, so I used Zeta. I had Mume as an assassin as well, so really there aren't many options for me to say, yeah, I want to use Chloe straight up, you know. But not to mention, I don't personally know Chloe. I never watched her, so me personally, I cannot say she was someone I really wanted to use. But even though I didn't use her, okay, even though I didn't use her, she was up for my Seiso run. I said I will use her if I need her. Unfortunately, I did not. However, instead of leaving her benched or unused, I am actually going to rate her. I think she is pretty above average, actually. I do think she is better than Mume, at least, in that regard, and I think she deserves a spot on this tier list. Now, again, she does come with extra skills later on. She comes with the Killing Edge, Lance Reaver, and Zedamin with Beast Swords. She is absolutely amazing to start off as a level 5 and assassin. Now, granted, you would hope that she would have A, so she can use Silver Swords right away, but overall, just give her a Killing Edge. She should be able to go and just destroy your opponents, especially on a Seiso difficulty run. Yabai could be a little bit more difficult, but she does have a Lance Reaver, which is amazing because, as we know, those Halberdiers are absolutely killer. So, giving her the Lance Reaver right away and versus Halberdiers, she can immediately start helping you on the chapter she's recruited, as well as the next chapter that also has quite a bit of units. Not to mention, she is an assassin, so she does have the extra range in the fog. She is very useful in the fog and can light your way. So, I would say above average. If I had to rate her. Now, again, like I said, I didn't use her, so this is just personal opinion, but looking at her bases, looking at what she comes with, what she can obtain, I do think Chloe is actually a pretty good unit. Much better than Mume in that regard, because Mume doesn't get all these extra stats to start, Chloe does, so that's my opinion. Now, again, she could just drop down to average, because most Thief units are pretty average. No one really compares to Jafar in Blazing Sword. In my opinion, Jafar is just absolutely a monster. I mean, that's literally what he is, right? So, to the game, I think Chloe is a good assassin. To the game, right? Just like Jafar is to Blazing Sword, an amazing assassin. Whereas, for example, if you played Fire Emblem Engage, because like I did, I used Yunaka. She wasn't a great assassin for me, Well, that's just because it's for the game, right? You can make characters that way. So same thing here applies. She is good for the game, for Holo Emblem, and I think she's fantastic. So that is my opinion on her. Even though I did not even use her, I think she is a fantastic unit. Alright, next up we have none other than Gura. So just FYI, you guys can see the portrait on the tier list. Looks pretty decent, but then you guys look at the stat page that I had to take a picture of. Creepy smile, not gonna lie, it is a little unsettling for me. So personally, I am going to throw up, just like I did with Risu, I'm throwing Gura's portrait up because I'm sorry, Hatsuru, I don't like it. Why'd you give her this creepy smile? Maybe it was a bug. I'm pretty sure it may have been a bug, but if this was your intent, I do apologize. That's not good. Any case, Gura. So we get her alongside Chloe on the same exact chapter. They come out together. In fact, Chloe is the one who rescues Gura out of the cell. She is a level 10 halberdier. Yeah, I won't lie, I'm a little disappointed that she's level 10. As far as I know, I don't think she could have used the Master Proof, if I remember correctly. I actually don't know. Did I test that in my Yabai run? I'm not entirely sure. But if she cannot transform into a Master Knight, I would assume that's the next class, right? So if she can't transform into a Master Knight, then that's kind of disappointing. I would think she should be able to, though, because if this is Gura's max, then it is not a good unit. She would be a very bad unit in that regard. Because she only gets 10 more levels, in which she really doesn't have the best growth rates, right? So she's not going to grow to the best unit possible. However, at base level 10, it's not bad. Considering she has 6 skills and all those skills actually help her, I think that's really, technically speaking, really good. Personally, I would have used Gura. However, at this point, I already had enough physical units, specifically tanks and or lance users. During my Seiso run, I had Subaru, I had Muna, I had Noelle, I had I didn't use Matsuri, but then I eventually used Matsuri. I think I was still using Aki at the same time. I had Choco in as well. You know, there's quite a few units that use lances, yet alone were weapon users in the first place that can tank. And Gura is, again, she's not a knight, right? She's not a knight like Noelle or Louis. However, she is a soldier, and she is a tank. That is her gimmick. She has, you guys can see right away, her personal weapon, the, what was it? The Trident, gives her plus 10 defense. So automatically, she's already getting extra defense. And then, of course, her extra skills as well are providing her even more defense on top of that, which will allow her to basically tank anything physically. And then 18 resistance on top of that is actually pretty good compared to the other knight units who don't get resistance. That is one of the benefits of halberdiers. They move more and usually are a little bit more resistant to magic and have more speed. The lack of luck is a little disappointing, but that's okay. Con is a little low, being 9, but it's okay. Again, Gura is a smaller, one of the smaller Hololive members, so it's not a surprise that her con is a little bit lower. That's not to say it takes away from her, though. Again, having 22 speed at level 10 is not bad for her, in which case she's a tank, right? You can pretend she's like a knight. Even though she gets weighed down, with all of her defense skills, she shouldn't really die. She just won't double her enemies instead. She comes with the Impale skill, which is, I'm assuming the Impale is unique to the Halberdier class. It is their damage dealing skill, basically doing 4 times damage, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, and it's skill activated, so having skill as her best stat, fantastic. She should be able to activate it quite easily. She also comes with Bracing Stance, Fortress Defense, Daunt, Boon, and Natural Cover. As we know, Fortress Defense plus 5 defense, minus 3 strength and magic. Again, you don't need magic if you're a physical weapon user. So minus the 3 strength from her 19, it's a little disappointing. However, again, She has Impale, and later on at level 35, she does learn, which in 5 levels, that's 5 more levels, she does learn Rightful Queen, which will increase the percent chance that she can activate that her skills in general, which is by 10%. Therefore, she should activate Impale, almost half the time she attacks. Like, that's pretty good. By the time she reaches level 20, like, that's really good. Yeah, very, very powerful. And then, of course, Daunt, -5 hit and crit to enemies within 3 tiles. 3 tiles is actually quite a bit, just like any other Fire Emblem Daunt. And especially in Seiso, it will practically make all enemies unable to kill your team with Gura in, especially as a centralized unit. Even more so in Yabai, when most enemies have that extra hit and extra hard mode bonuses, right? The leadership stars alone, she takes away 1 star for the hit rate automatically from them. So that's amazing. That is actually very helpful. But yeah, me personally, I didn't use Gura as much as I wanted to. She just couldn't fit in. I already had the tanks, I already had the lance users, and that's one of the drawbacks of halberdiers. They only use lances, and therefore they're one-trick ponies, right? They're just soldiers, on the battlefield. The most generic of units, you can say. Contrary to most Fire Emblem games, halberdiers in this game are a little bit more deadly. There's no denying that. So, unfortunately, I didn't use Gura. I would have to put her in the bench unused. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. As sad as it is, because I do like Gura. She's one of my favorite Hololive members. Was one of my favorite Hololive members. In fact, if you guys don't know this about me, she actually had the very first stream I ever watched from a Hololive member, and that was, what year was that? 2021? 2020? What year was that? I think it was 2020 New Year's stream. My goodness, that was one funny stream. That was the first time I ever watched Hololive, and she was it. She was the first person I ever watched. So props to Gura. Unfortunately, I didn't use her in Holo Emblem. I will use her though in another run if I do play again. There is no denying that she actually can be better than what I originally thought of her. After playing through both Seiso and Yabai, I have come to appreciate more of what Gura has. Not to mention, she is EN. Therefore, she has all of her supports in the game. She probably gets some good stuff, honestly. I want to explore that. For some reason, I couldn't really get her any A supports during my Seiso run, even though I was trying to partner her up with some of the characters. So that was a little disappointing. I didn't get to even see one of them. So, in the end, I will use Gura in the future, but as far as right now, I have to bench her / unused her in the ratings because I didn't use her at all. I tried to use her at the very end of the game, but of course at that point it's too late, right? So I cannot base my experience on that. Now, that being said, I'm going to say right here, right now, at the end of the list, right after I finish rating everybody, I will go into the bench and unused, and out of my personal opinions, and through whatever experience I do have, and based on the units themselves, I will try to rate those characters, but only at the end, right? I will do it at the end. That way we have at least some kind of idea of what they can be, or what I think they can be. For example, no offense, but like Roboko, she's going to be bad. Unless there is a support out there that I can figure out that she can do better, Roboko will be bad. Whereas Azuki, for example, would go all the way up into the above average, right there with Watame, because why not, right? Not to mention, Azuki can transform into a different class unit if you needed her to. So, anyways, I digress. Thank you, Gura. Love you. Miss you as well. She graduated, so I'm very sad about that. But very, very, very good unit. Very happy to see her in the game. And yeah, I do plan to use her in another run. Just in this time, I just didn't have the chance and opportunity to do so. Moving on to the next character, though, we have Ina. Now, I didn't recruit her in this order, but in Yabai I did. In my Seiso run, I did not recruit her until after I got both Mio and Fubuki, because I needed to kill her the second time around. You have 2 opportunities to get Ina, and if you don't kill her on the pirate ship ones, then you, not kill, but defeat her. Don't say kill. If you don't defeat her in the first one, you can get her a second chance, because she does come a little late. She does come out of the, out of nowhere. So there was no way for me to have known the first time through that she was going to appear. That's why she also gets a second chance to be obtained. Now, if we take a look at her stats, though, oh man, just like Kobo, she suffers from lack of speed and con, and that is one of the things that I was like, okay, I don't know if Ina is actually a good unit or a bad unit. Me personally, amongst the Hololive EN members, I don't watch Ina I probably watch Ina the least amongst the original groups, right? Myth and Counseloress. Amongst the 2 original groups, I probably watch Ina the least. And that's no offense to her, of course, but she is absolutely entertaining, and very talented. No doubt. But yeah, I didn't have any intentions of using Ina with the roster that we had in Seiso, and then even going to Yabai. I wanted to go with what I had and what was strong, and Ina wasn't it for me, unfortunately, so I didn't use her. However, going into the end game in my Seiso run, I was using her. She actually does have some pretty powerful magic capabilities. She is a level 1 druid to start with 43 HP, which is much better than Kobo. However, again, the lack of speed and luck is the biggest thing, as well as the con. Now, she does come with some skills: Wrathful Wall, Malefic Aura, Rightful Queen, Black Magic, Reposition. On my thing, it says she has Frenzy. Does she have Frenzy as a hard mode character? I'm pretty sure the stat page here is actually from the Seiso difficulty run. But in hard mode, did she come with Frenzy? I don't remember that. But if she does, great. That's fantastic if she did. At level 40, aka level 20 Druid, she learns Vantage Plus, which is absolutely fantastic. So her gimmick is she has her own personal weapon called the Ancient One. It is a powerful dark magic that gives not only giving her defenses, but it is very strong, and with on top of her 27 magic, she should be able to do massive damage to her opponents. That is something that makes her a good unit, right? She can do massive damage, and especially if you attack from range where the units can't retaliate against her, she will be able to do massive damage, chipping them down to basically one shot from any other unit. And maybe in some cases she could probably one shot during Seiso mode. Not obviously don't quote me on that because I didn't use her, but pretty powerful stuff if I do say so myself. And having a personal weapon, which by the way is unlimited, it has no durability. So if you use Ina, you have an unlimited dark magic weapon that is providing her defenses. So she has 17 and 17 defense and resistance at base, level 1, plus 7 on top. That's 24 each. She is a tank, even with the lack of speed, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the Ancient One does weigh her down. Even with the lack of speed, she is an absolute beast of a tank. Just like apparently half the mages in this game, you could throw her out on the front lines and she can actually tank some damage. Give her Rally Spectrum from Kiara, for example. That's another 7 on top of that. All of a sudden she has 30s. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. That's at level 1 Druid, right? That is crazy. So you can see how most important Kiara is with that rally spectrum. I'm just saying, kind of most important character. In any case, back to Ina. She does come with C Dark Magic, D Anima, and E Staves. Again, another staff user if you need it, but she starts with only heals, so that's a little bit of a detriment. Too bad it couldn't at least be D, so she could use Mend. However, having 27 magic, obviously heal staves aren't good enough because she will heal 37 HP, which is fantastic. At this point, you really don't have many units that have that much HP outside of like your second promoted units or Suisei, Polka, your tanks. So technically you don't need extra Mend or anything like that. I think E staves are good enough. It's just sad because she can't use Restore, she can't use Entraps, in the future anytime soon. So that's a little bit of a detriment. But again, she only has C Dark, which is not too bad considering she has her own personal weapon. But she also can't use the heavier magics, which we don't have at this point, but she can't use them yet. So you gotta train it up for sure. Overall, even though I didn't use Ina, based on all of this, and talking about it in depth, and seeing what she can do towards the end game, in which I didn't use her at all, right, during my Seiso run, so she can come in and help you right away. Personally, I'm not going to leave her benched. I'm actually going to put her in the above average section, just like Chloe, who I also didn't use. I think Ina has some uses. There is a case there to say that she is actually really good. Now, you look at her growth rates, for example, and they're not top tier, right? They're pretty average. But if she attains even more defense and resistance, right? Because they are yellow right here, so they're about, what, 50%, I believe? That's a pretty good growth rate for defense and resistance, right? On top of her weapon giving her the extra defenses, on top of Kiara or even Risu giving them rally defense again, if not double, Ina is just absolutely tanky as heck. And I never really realized that before. So, that being said, she is actually really, really powerful. Now, skill-wise, not the best skills. I'm not gonna lie. She could use extra skills. Now, what skills would those be? Probably not any of the skill activating ones. Not the best skill rating. But maybe like a Tome Fair to give her a little bit extra damage. Maybe she can one-shot some of those enemies, especially with the extra rally skill buffs, perhaps. But I don't know for sure because I didn't use her. However, I do think she can be powerful. Now, can druids go above and beyond into a necromancer class? I don't think so. So, that being said, this is Ina's max. That could be a detriment. I don't think I had a master proof to test it with Mel and Toa, so I don't know for sure, but I don't think she would need a second class anyways, given that dark magic is as powerful as it is. So overall, I think Ina would be considered above average and therefore making her a really powerful unit to use. I didn't use her, but I suggest that if you have an opportunity, maybe use her, test her out. At the very least, in Seiso run, test her out for sure. Because maybe in Yabai she may be a little bit too weak, considering how strong the enemies are. But in Seiso difficulty, she's definitely usable. Especially if you get her on the pirate ship ones. If you get her later, maybe a little bit less viable. Because by then, the enemies are getting stronger. So it is up and down for that. But overall, I think she is a really strong unit. And I think she should be used sooner than later. At least that's my opinion on her. Alright, next up we have Korone. Okay, so I'm so sad. Korone is a unique unit class, just like Ollie, just like Noelle, just like some of the other units. She is a unique unit. She is she is literally called the Doog, but she is one of the Wiggly style enemies, she transforms and fights in her animal form as a dog. She is fantastic. There is no denying that Kurone should be in your lineup. I just straight say it, you should use her every time you play this game. Not only is she a fighting style unit, but she can pick locks. She comes with lock touch. That's crazy. To me, a unit that can do that while still being out in the front lines makes it so much easier to collect chests and open doors. You don't even need to bring a thief. Of all the thieves in the game, you wouldn't need any of them if you have Kurone. Like, that's crazy. So Kurone is a very unique character. I love her. As far as JP members go, for me and my brother, she is definitely one of our favorites for sure. Not only is she hilarious, but she has a great personality. Too bad she doesn't have a nice personality skill, huh? But she also is a very good person. We love watching her, even though we don't understand what she's saying half the time. We do enjoy watching clips of her. You know, she is very funny. In any case, as far as Holo Emblem is concerned, very strong. She comes with her own Duke Stone, which is unlimited. Allows her to transform, obviously, into the Duke, so she has to have it in her inventory no matter what. Other than that, that's it. She doesn't have any weapons, right? She can't use any weapons. She's a dog. She comes with the skill Charge. She has Crit Boost, Lock Touch, and Frenzy. So Charge is gain +1 damage for every 2 squares moved. At base, she has 8 movement, but she also gains extra 2 movement, I believe from her Duke Stone. So, if I remember correctly. So therefore, she has 10 movement. She can get an additional 5 attack automatically. That's crazy. Not to mention how far she can move in the first place. 10 movement is insane. That's a lot of movement. She has 22 attack, 22 strength. I forget how much attack the Duke Stone provides, but she is pretty decently strong offensively. She also has a lot of skill. So give her one of your skill activating skills. Luna, Impale if you have one. I forget what skills you can attain in this game. I know Luna for sure, you can buy it. So if you have a chance to give her a skill activating ability, then definitely do that. She has 26 speed as well. Again, I'm adding the +3 automatically to some of these things because it's just applied automatically. 23 luck. That's more luck than most units have in this game, and that will prevent her from being critted. The only thing I have to say about Kurone is the lack of, survivability. Specifically, defense, resistance, and HP combined. She actually still gets killed. And if you guys saw either my Seiso run or my Yabai run, yeah, she still died. She still died in both runs. For some reason, I can't keep her alive. I suck. Now, that being said, her defenses are a little bit lower because she also comes with the Frenzy skill, which also increases her damage even more for every 25% loss of HP, which is great in that regard. With the crit boost, she should be able to get crits off pretty easily as well. Overall, she's a really strong unit. The only drawback, she's level 10. Now, there is an item in the future that I didn't actually understand. I don't think I understood it during my save one, but I think it's a transformation item. If I remember correctly, it was a finger. I think that's what it was called, a finger. I believe that will transform Kurone into the transformed Wiggly form. I forget what they're called. In any case, if that is the case, she would get a second class, and that would make her absolutely insanely powerful, which I don't even know. Is level 20 the max for her current class? Because if it isn't, holy crap, what, 25, 30? She would be one of the strongest Lagoon style units ever. Like, straight up. Like, if you can train her to be that strong, that'd be crazy. Now, again, I didn't use her all the way because she died in all of my runs, but personally, she is absolutely powerful. By the way, you don't need to buy Luna. She gets Luna. In 10 levels, she gets Luna. She gets at 20 level, she gets Outrider, and then at level 30, she gets Luna. So automatically, she's already getting 2 more skills. She's already powerful, and she gets even more powerful. So, wow. I mean, and then again, on top of that, she has 16 con, one of the highest of all the characters you can have. And 15 age can rescue most units as well. So very, very powerful units. And I will say she does save my units' lives, even though she sacrifices her own. So I don't know what else more to say. You have to use Korone. Personally, I cannot say she can be any lower than great. S tier, maybe. I don't know, because I couldn't get her to survive either of my runs long enough to find out. But if she does level up very good, which in my experience she did not level up very good, her growth rates are not the best. If she can level up some stuff, and if that is a transformation item later on in the game, then I could say she could be S tier for sure. Borderline, right? Borderline up and down. But as far as my experience is concerned, Korone is a very powerful unit. I think she has to be in your lineup every single run. Again, just the fact that she's a 10 movement, frontline style unit who can pick locks and open doors, gotta be in your lineup. There is no reason not to have her in. She's literally better than all the thief units in the game. Straight up. Literally, no argument there. You cannot argue that. So, Korone, fantastic unit, must use character. Maybe S tier, but not quite yet until I get more experience with the game to find out if it's true. Now, that being said, we move on to her partner. We get on the exact same chapter as her. Where is her? Okayu. I don't know too much about Okayu, but I know enough. Obviously a kitty. She is interesting. She is a level 1 rogue at base with 41 HP, so it's good. She has some HP to survive a couple hits. Now, what's bad? She is a rogue. She only has 23 speed as her best stat, and again, another unit coming with more speed than she should actually have. However, the rest of her stats, not so good. If you used Mume, hell, even if you used Percora, both of them actually could be stronger than Okayu. Maybe not Percora defensively, but overall, Percora and Mume can both be stronger than Okayu at level 1. Whether you make them assassin or rogue, it doesn't matter. Yeah, unfortunately Okayu falls short. Now, that being said, she does have Steel Plus, obviously the lock touch for being a rogue, and she comes with a charm, right? Charm. She learns at level 30 Cultured and 40 Grizzly Wound. I actually don't know what Grizzly Wound is, so no way for me to actually tell you guys what it is. But yeah, charms allies within 2 tiles deal +2 damage. She's a very support character, which is great. She only has 12 con, so she can only pretty much use the swords, and that's it. Which again, as a rogue, that's all you get. But you know, she's pretty basic. There's nothing really most outstanding about her, unfortunately. She's basically, hey, you lost your thief units? You can use Okayu. Partner her up with Korone, there you go. Now you have 2 units that can pick locks, and she can use her Steel Plus. She has the speed to steal from to steal from units, but her lack of con probably won't be able to steal most weapons. So it's up and down. She has a niche for for stealing weapons, but that's only if they're unequipped. Otherwise, I'm not gonna lie, Okayu is actually not the best unit to have. Now that being said, I did lose her on my Seiso run due to a spider ballista destroying her point blank, which is very sad. So I didn't really have the chance to use her. And then of course going to Yabai, I also didn't have the chance to use her again because I have other units. Specifically, I had Mume as my rogue, so there's really no point to having Okayu in the first place. especially with stats like these where she actually turns out weaker than Mume. Kinda no point. There really isn't a use for her. She is one of those, hey, you lost your thief units, you throw her in. Now that being said, even though I didn't use her, I will have to say that I can easily put her in average/niche section, because even though I didn't use her, that is her role. Rogues aren't supposed to be on front lines. They're the guys who get the girls, in this case, who get the chests, open doors, steal some items here and there. Nothing really outstanding. They're pretty average. That's their job. So, like I said, if you're using Zeta, she's better. And, even though you lose her at this point, she does come back. You have Mume. If you train her, she's better. Korone, who you get with Okayu, can pick locks, so you don't really need to. The only thing you would need is if you want to steal items. So, a little bit lackluster. Again, like I said with Purkora too, if you train Purkora, she could probably be just as strong, if not a little bit stronger. And unlike Okayu, Purkora actually has a unique skill that allows her to move again. So Purkora can get 2 movements in 1 turn, whereas Okayu it's just standard, right? She's so basic, there's really no point to using her. My personal opinion. Nothing against her. I think she's great, but there's no reason to use her if you have other units in your arsenal. Therefore, she's pretty just average, as sad as that may be. But moving on, we have Ayame. She is a level 5 sword master. So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know Ayame was even a Hololive member before playing this game. I had never seen her before, and I was like, who are you? Not to mention level 5 sword master. If you guys really look at these bases, let's be honest, this is a weak sword master. Nothing against Ayame. I really don't know anything about her though, so don't quote me on anything bad about her, of course. But level 5 sword master, she has no HP. She has no defense or resistance whatsoever. The luck is nice, but as a level 5 sword master, her strength, skill, and speed, that's what you would see typically in a regular sword master in a Fire Emblem game. So it's not really that surprising, and therefore making her a little weak. She's a little bit underdeveloped, I would say. And her con being 9 as well means I think she gets weighed down by the strongest swords. Not silver sword though, I don't think, but there's some other weapons that she can use that Swordmaster should be able to use, but I don't think she can. Now she does get +1 movement, which is nice. I do believe, what is that? What's giving her that +1? That's her poise skill. Yes, her poise skill is +1 movement and negates hit bonus from weapon triangle advantage, which is okay. So she negates the lance going against her, but again, being as frail as she is, a lance user will probably chip her down to half HP in one go, or probably do massive damage to the point where she'll be one-shot to someone else. So it's kind of bad. She also comes with crit boost and Lucky 7. Lucky 7 is +20 hit and avoid until the 7th turn of the chapter. As we know from most of these chapters, it's going to go way above 7 turns. Now, if you can utilize those first 7 turns, that is 20 avoidability on top of her 22 speed and 19 luck. Right? That's a lot of avoid. If you do level her up, right, and get her speed to like 30, get her luck to like 25-ish, hands down, I'm not going to deny it, for the first 7 turns, she will practically be untouchable. So, if you are a Swordmaster user, or a lover I should say in this case, like my brother is, I would say yes, use Ayame, for sure. She can be an absolute beast of a tank for the first 7 turns. But after those 7 turns, she returns to normal, and it becomes lackluster again. And again, as a level 5 Swordmaster, she's not going to get too many extra stats, I don't think. We can't see her growth rates here on this page, but if I remember correctly, they're pretty average. There's nothing really going for Ayame except for the fact that she has a personal weapon in the Asura, and she comes with a Rakshasa and an Elixir. She also gets the skills Adept and Life Taker at level 30 and 40 respectively, which is great. I don't deny that. The Life Taker is awesome, the Adept is great, especially if it activates, and she does come with a sword automatically, so she can use every sword in the game practically. But me personally, and this goes for all Fire Emblems too, sword masters or sword users in general are not your best units. They do fall off. There is a unfortunate unfortunate thing for them that there's going to be more lance users in the game than swords, and therefore she gets powered as well as she gets killed. And to me, Ayame is not going to be very useful in that regard. Now, I didn't use Ayame, so I cannot rate her perfectly, right? Like I said, if you utilize the Lucky 7 skill, I don't deny that she can be very good for the first 7 turns. But after those 7 turns, unless your Ayame levels up good, it is questionable on how she will perform. Me personally, because I didn't use her, I will put her in the benched section. But again, like I said, at the end, I'll probably go over this. I won't lie, she'll probably go in the average. I can't say she's bad, but she'll definitely just be average. That Lucky 7 skill is definitely saving her. But otherwise, I cannot say in good faith that she is a very powerful unit, nor should she ever become your best unit. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Alright, so now moving on, we go to Mio and Fubuki. So first we'll do Mio, because we do have to get her in order to get Fubuki in the first place. Mio. I don't know anything about Mio, by the way. I know Fubuki. I see Fubuki clips all the time. She is so funny. But I don't know anything about Mio. But looking at her as a unit, she is a level 5 Guardian. Holy crap. This unit, by the way, Guardian units are sages. Look at her HP. What is that? 50 HP as level 5 Sage, practically. 23 defense. 26 resistance. What is happening here? I don't know what Hatsuru was thinking. Making all these mage units tanky as hell. 15 luck 2s. Most units won't crit her. And then 17 speed, she won't get doubled, but she won't also double any enemies either. So that's the drawback, right? But that's okay. 23 skill, 16 magic. She even has 12 strength. I don't think she needs strength for anything. Explosion magic, I guess, but why would you want to use explosion magic in the first place when most magics are magic based? So in any case, absolutely powerful. I cannot say more about how powerful Mio can be. And on top of that, she has 2 leadership stars, 13 con to allow her to use almost every single magic in the game without being weighed down. And she has 12 age, so she can rescue some of the smaller units as well. And then on top of that, she has skills that even makes her more powerful. So, starting with the first one, Spectrum Stance, plus 2 attack, speed, defense, and resistance when she gets attacked. So not only is she tanky, but she wants to be attacked to get even more bonuses. What is that? That is crazy. That is absolutely insane. She has Aegis as well, which to me, that's the weakest thing about her. She doesn't need Aegis because she already has 26 resistance. Therefore, she doesn't need to negate any magic attacks. Then she has Tome Range plus 1. What? She can attack from long bow range. What is that? That's 3 range, guys. She not only can attack from long range and not be attacked, but she can retaliate against longbow users, in which we do fight quite a bit of longbow users going forward. That's insane. And then, of course, she comes with Opportunist as well. So, wow. You cannot tell me that she is an absolutely powerful unit. Now, the downside for her. Her learnable skill at level 30 is Foresight. Doesn't really matter. However, at level 5 Guardian, she only has Sea Anima, Dark, and Light magics. C is not very high. You would want her to use at least B's and A's, especially given her magic is very low. And regardless that her magic growth rate is actually one of her best growth rates, she doesn't increase it. In my experience, in 2 runs now, she did not increase her magic at all. In fact, I think even my brother used her a little bit and she didn't increase her magic there either. So maybe it's a bug, maybe the growth rate's wrong, but her magic growth rate is not that good apparently. So that's why she wants to use better magic. She does come with B staves though, which is fantastic. So immediately you get another staff user on top of this absolutely beast of a monster of a mage. That's crazy. So without a doubt, this is going to be quick. Honestly, this is just a quick review. Mio. Boom. Great. You can't tell me she cannot be one of your best units. Now, not going to be the best unit, but she is the absolutely great unit to have on your team. As soon as you get her, you might as well use her. Even without supports, she is a must-use unit. I cannot say that more enough because she's just strong. She's just powerful. She doesn't get killed. She's not going to kill, but she also just straight up just doesn't die. And that's pretty much her gimmick. She will not die. So, for sure, if you guys have the opportunity, use her right away. There's no reason not to use her. So, my opinion, get her, use her. Alright, moving on to the second character we get on this chapter, same chapter as Mio. We get Shirakami, Fubuki herself. So, you guys, I mentioned, for example, I mentioned Ayame, right? How a level 5 Swordmaster, she was just okay. And, well, then we get Fubuki. If we take a look at Fubuki, she's actually interesting. I did actually use her a little bit on my Seiso run, and then she died. But there's a reason I used her too, and it's because of the 2 leadership stars. That is on top of having Mio's 2 leadership stars. That's 4. That's 4 leadership stars on the same, 2 characters on the same map. That's crazy. And unlike Ayame, Fubuki actually has extra growths in strength, skill, speed, and luck. Even though her luck is pretty bad, she actually has a chance to grow it even more. Not to mention, the strength is not really the most important stat. It's just good enough, but she does have a good growth rate. Now, that also being said, she has 6 more defense than Ayame did as well, making her a little bit more tanky. And the HP is pretty good as well, 43. So overall, Shirakami is actually very strong. Not to mention, she has 13 con, so she can actually use all swords in the game practically. That is also something else that we need to talk about too, is the fact that she actually has 2 forms. And I'm actually going to have to bring up the second one. So this is Shirakami, and we also have her transformation version, Kurokami. And I have it side by side for you guys on the screen now. Level 5 each at level 5 Guardian. They do have different skills. You guys can see that Kurokami actually obtains a 6th skill, as well as her skills change to different skills. They keep the leadership stars the same, 2 each. However, Kurokami, as you guys can actually see, is slightly, ever so slightly, stronger, in matter speaking, than Shirakami. She has an extra con, she has an extra aid. The only difference really is the fact that instead of strength, Kurokami has magic. 19 magic, in fact, in which, oddly enough, they actually have different growth rates. That's kind of funny. Their growth rates actually switch. Alternatively, Kurokami gets the magic, defense, and resistance. Shirakami gets the strength, skill, speed, and luck. I'm assuming their HP is the same. So, that being said, that's pretty unique. I actually didn't notice that until making this video, that their growth rates switch. Now, that being said, does it actually apply when they level? Because if it does, whoa, that is actually just very, very interesting. So, if you need one to have more stats over the other, obviously you would want Shirakami's stats to grow, because you want the strength, skill, speed, and luck over the defense and resistance, right? And then, of course, having an atrocious magic for Shirakami. Kurokami, though, on the other hand, has more magic than Shirakami's strength. So if you use Kurokami and you give her like a light brand, the rune sword, wind sword, you know, those things, she can actually be very powerful at range. Now, that being said, if you use Kurokami, unfortunately, if you level, right, based on the growth rates, that means you're going to get magic defense and resistance, and you're not going to be able to increase those better Swordmaster stats. So it's a give and take. Very unique unit, I will say. I didn't actually know that before doing this video, so very interesting. She does learn the skill Double Lion at level 35. I forget what Double Lion does, but in any case, I'm pretty sure it's pretty good, because Botan also has it. She also comes with, alright, they have different skills, so we'll go over Shirakami first. Shirakami has Gamble, Crit Boost, Certain Blow, my apologies, Pavis, and Desperation. So again, we know a couple of them. If you guys don't know, Gamble is, I would say, one of the more useless skills in Fire Emblem, because I didn't know before Holo Emblem that, oddly enough, that hit rate comes before crit rate. So even if, for example, as I mentioned with Bay in my tier list, even if you have 100% crit rate, it will not activate if your hit does not actually hit the enemy, right? If you actually don't have that chance to actually attack your enemy, the crit will not activate. Therefore, you will miss every single time. Therefore, having Gamble, which literally halves your hit rate by 50%, chances are you're probably not going to get the crit, because you're probably not going to hit in the first place. As far as Fire Emblem is concerned, I don't think I've ever hit with the Gamble skill, so therefore there's really no point in having the Gamble skill, because you're going to probably miss. Now, that being said as well, in this game at least, you don't really need Gamble. Gamble is kind of useless because everyone has pretty good crit rates already, not to mention Shirakami does have the crit boost, and I believe Certain Blow, oh, it gives 40 hit rate when attacking, actually. So I don't actually remember if the Certain Blow comes after or before Gamble. I'm assuming it comes after, because why would you counteract it with before, right? So in that case, Shirakami actually would benefit from the Gamble. However, I don't know if that's true, because I actually don't remember if I tested it. She also comes with Pavis, which nullifies physical attack. Skill activated, so pretty good chance to negate being attacked in the first place and taking damage. And then she has Desperation, which if her HP is below 50%, double attacks occur first. So contrary to Zeta's skill, where she attacks twice automatically first, Shirakami, if she is in a lower HP state, she will attack first automatically. So, interesting. Very interesting build, I would say. I mean, those are the stats you want your Swordmaster to have in the first place, right? The only drawback, she doesn't have Astra, although as a Guardian, I don't know if she will actually learn Astra. If she doesn't, that kind of sucks, because that's kind of a Swordmaster thing. But if she does learn it, then she could be an absolute killer of a unit. Again, she does learn Double Lion as a personal skill, but not maybe as a class skill. Then we go to Kurokami, and she comes with Tower Shield, Crit Boost, Tome Breaker, Barricade, Aegis, and Slayer. That is very interesting that she gets Tome Breaker, considering she is using magic. Very interesting. You would probably prefer it if it was a physical weapon versus a mage, because of the fact that mages probably don't have as much defenses, right? So if you're using Kurokami, who uses magic, you're probably going to go against a magic unit with magic, or with resistance, which is kind of bad. But it's not to say it's not, it won't work, because you still have physical capabilities if you go in close combat. It's just not the best circumstances. She also has Tower Shield, which reduces damage received at range. I don't know how much damage that is. I actually never got the skill's description personally. I never went over the skill and looked at it, so I actually don't know how much damage is reduced, but I do have it written down. So there's that. She also comes with the Slayer skill as well, so that helps with the magic department, right? She's very effective against monsters, but overall not the most powerful unit for sure. I think being Shirakami is much better than being Kurokami. And then of course she has, like I said, she has Aegis, which nullifies magic attacks. Again, that's good for her resistance for sure, because she does not have a lot, but not the best. So overall, and again, barricade skill useless, because she most likely will not be doubled. She will probably double her enemies, so barricade skill is completely useless. So in a way, Kurokami is actually very weak compared to Shirakami. However, both have their uses, and I think depending on which unit you prefer to use, or weapons, I should say, what weapons you prefer to use, you would use the specific version of Fubuki. Now, that being said, she does come with Ace Swords automatically for both, and she only comes with a killing edge when you get her, when you recruit her. I personally, after looking at these overall, I don't think there really is any reason to use Kurokami. Maybe if you want to increase your defense and resistance stats, if they do transfer over when you switch, then I would say that's the only reason to use Kurokami. Other than that, you would probably want to stay on Shirakami at all times. I personally just don't see any reason to really use Kurokami unless you're using magic swords. Like, I don't know. It's cool. I do think this is cool, though. In fact, I think Kurokami's picture is cooler than Shirakami's picture. But overall, I don't see any reason to have Kurokami out. So therefore, making Shirakami your more preferable option. Now, overall, I did lose her in my Seiso run, so I cannot say for sure how good Shirakami is. Not to mention, or just saying Fubuki in general, not to mention in my Yabai run, I didn't use her either. So, personally, as a Swordmaster style unit, I think she is technically good. Like, her stats are pretty good at base. And the leadership stars definitely provide a boost. So, definitely at least average minimum. But with all the bonuses, she could be as good as above average. I mean, if Ayame is kind of average to bad, I think Fubuki is, because she has more avenues, you can say, to becoming a very strong unit, I think she'll have to probably be above average if I had to categorize her. When I did use her, I thought she was actually pretty strong. Not to mention, she actually has her own unique little sprite as well. And if you guys know, she actually has the sprite model for and attack animations for Lin when she uses the Soul Kati, I believe, in Blazing Sword. So very cool connection there. I really like that. It's a really nice touch. That making Fubuki have a unique unit class in general. So that's cool. But yeah, overall, I would have to say Fubuki would be above average as far as a unit. She is only level 5, so she has room to grow. Not to mention you could use re-debuts as well. And I don't think she's the worst unit out there. Again, with the growth rates that she has, she can be really good. Contrary to Ayame, who has no defenses and less HP. Not to mention, Shirakami has the Pavi skill, which will negate physical attacks, which is basically all that she will most likely be fighting. And then that Desperation skill, if you get her to below 50% HP, I mean, give her a few angelic robes, boom, easy enough, right? She'll be tanking so much that she will have the 50% HP, and then she'll always attack twice. That's crazy. I mean, the chances of you getting a crit and just slaughtering your enemies before they even get a chance to attack, it's probably going to happen. So just give her a bunch of killing edges, and she's just absolutely powerful. So, in my opinion, I think she's above average. I cannot say she is great, because I didn't get to test her out, but based on all this information, I don't think she can be a great unit, just above average. She's a good unit, without a doubt, and those leadership stars are definitely a big boost, but I cannot say that she can go above that. I think she's just one of those fill-in characters. She's not really important to a plot, so she's a fill-in character, and if you happen to fill it in, you know, or need a fill-in, she's perfect. She will literally fit in right away and, you know, bolster your army perfectly. Now, that being said, is she the best unit? Probably not. Probably don't need her. Again, sword unit, so you don't really need the sword units because you already have Ame and maybe even your paladins too, so probably not going to be in your army. But if you have the opportunity, I definitely recommend you try her out, for sure. Next up, we have Kyla. Where is Kyla on my list? There she is. Alright, so Kyla. Kyla is up next. If you successfully do Fubuki and Mio's chapter in 17 turns or less, you actually get Kyla's guiding chapter, in which you can obtain both her and Anya at the same time. Now, Kyla you have to recruit on the chapter itself. Anya you get after if you successfully do it. She comes as a level 5 blacksmith. What the heck is with her HP? 59 HP, by the way. I don't know. Is that a significant number? I don't know if that is a significant number to her, 59, because that's kind of funny. Why not just give her the 60 HP straight up? I don't like the 59. I don't really like the odd numbers, personally. It's kind of funny. But overall, level 5 blacksmith, pretty good, actually. She doesn't necessarily excel in any certain category of stats, but overall, not horrible, right? Now, granted, as a level 1 hero, these are kind of the stats you preferably would want, but that's fine. She has 16 con, again, having some of the highest con in the game. She has 15 aid, so she can rescue quite a bit of units. Overall, growth rates are okay. They're pretty average. There is a chance that she can be very powerful. She does come with a few skills as well, but the biggest thing about Kyla that you want to get her is the fact that she has her own personal weapon, or in this case, a staff. It is a Hermern staff. That, to me, is absolutely insane of a weapon. Staff. A Hermern staff with 12 uses, that's crazy. Yet alone, we already have, at this point, I think we have 2 Hermern staffs at this point. Or you have opportunity to get even more, which, by the way, why would you buy it? Because it's expensive as hell. But that's crazy. I don't even think you need that many in the game, but I wonder, does the Arms Thrift skill apply? I actually don't know. Does the Arms Thrift skill apply to her staff? If it does, there is a chance that she can even use the Hermern more than once. That's also crazy to think about. I don't think it does because it's not a weapon, but you never know, right? The Arms Thrift skill specifically says luck % chance to not consume weapon durability. Does it count as a weapon? I don't know. Someone test that out. Figure that out for me. Let me know in the comment section if you have. But otherwise, Kyla does come with Arms Thrift, Blue Flame, Heavy Strikes, and Short Shield. So overall, she just has stuff that helps her out. Pretty average unit. I wouldn't say she's either the best unit or a bad unit. She is pretty average. If anything, she has a quote-unquote niche, and that is her Hermern staff. But that's also, A, you have to get it. B, you have to have Kyla. And then C, you have to, you gotta use it. So, you know, it's not to say that Kyla is not a good unit. It's just, I think she's pretty average though. If you do train her up though, sadly as it is, she only gets one extra skill. She doesn't learn anything, but you can give her a skill of your own. And I do think she gets a class skill too. I forget what it was. But she only gets 5 skills. She doesn't get 6, which really sucks, considering that some units, other units, well, a lot of other units get 6 skills. Very sad. And you know, like I said, Blue Flame is probably the skill you want to get rid of. It's really kind of the weakest one there. You can give her like an Axe Fair, and she'll be strong using axes. She has the con for it. Or you can just use swords as well. Either way, I think either works. Her speed is high enough that she won't get doubled, and with her con, she should be able to level it up and then get her speed up, that is, and double enemies. She probably won't be doing the killing, but she will do a lot of damage. If you try to make her like a crit unit like I did, then she could be very useful. She can be quite tanky against physical weapons, but overall I wouldn't say she's like the best unit out there for sure. And she's not supposed to be, right? She's supposed to be an extra unit. She's a fill-in style that fills a role, not necessarily a combat, not necessarily a support, but she is someone that can be very useful if you've lost units along the way. That being said, she comes with the steel sword, hand axe, and elixir. She has A in sword and axes to start, so right away she can use silver weapons, which is fantastic. And then of course she has B staves, therefore making her a staff user automatically. And having 16 magic as a staff user who uses weapons mostly is actually really good. Like, let's be honest, that's 16, that's 8 range with a staff that has range. Like, that's really powerful, in my opinion. You wouldn't expect something like that from a unit like her. So, very good unit to have at any given point. You don't even need to train her. You could throw her in at a later date and she'd still be able to hold her own and support you at any given point. So give her a physic, she can heal. Give her a silver sword or a silver axe, she can fight. So very good unit. But not your best. So, obviously, in my opinion, I did use Kyla in my Seiso run, and of course, I would have used Kyla in my Yabai run. She would be in the pretty above average section, actually. I would not say great. I would not say bad, obviously. But average, perhaps. It's borderline. She's average, borderline. But otherwise, I think she's above average. She has a good niche, and that's her staff to merge her other characters' weapons, which is fantastic. But she's also a really good fill-in character that can fight. So if you happen to need someone else who can either A, need to use axes or swords, she can fill that role perfectly. And not only can she use both weapons, she can use both the physical and magic weapons equally. Take that into consideration. And with the Arms Thrift skill, my goodness, there's a chance that she doesn't use those weapons up. That's crazy. She is very good. Not necessary for the game, but if you get her, by all means, use her. There's no reason not to. She's a pretty good unit overall, and there's no real downside. There is no downside to having Kyla on your team at all. So that's my opinion. We also get Anya on this chapter. At the end of the chapter, if you successfully seize it, you also get Anya. Now, Anya is unique. She is her own class, the weapon. Very interesting. I don't know what goes into deciding that Anya is a sword. I personally don't know anything about Anya. I've seen her before, but I've never watched her. I don't even see clips of her. So me personally, I don't know anything about her. But she is a very strong unit. Let's be honest. Level 1 the weapon. 50 HP, that's pretty good. Making her automatically a tank. She has 20 defense and 70 resistance, surviving against most enemies, if not all at this point. The 8 Lux sucks, but as you guys can see from the yellow, it can grow to be a little bit higher. It just needs to be in the mid-teens, right? By the end. That's usually where we would want it to be. Her speed is only 20, so she probably won't double too many of the stronger enemies, but with a few levels she could get there. It's not like the speed growth is the worst. She has 30 skills, so she'll probably hit everything, and she has 17 magic and 25 strength. Now, her con being 10 doesn't matter. Why? She has her own personal weapon, the Karis? I don't even know. Karis, I think is how it's pronounced. And she gets S swords automatically, so she can use every sword in the game. But she is going to use her personal weapon that has no durability. And if you do the guidance chapter for her and get the other sword, I forgot what it was called, but it is the magic version of her swords. This one, the Karis, is the physical one. The other one's magic. If you get that sword, she's unkillable because she will be able to fight magic she'll be able to use magic damage straight up and destroy her opponents. Anya is very interesting. She has Arcane Blade, Keep Up, Acrobat, and Chivalry. Not the greatest skills, but it's okay. She also learns Full Metal Body, which really doesn't matter. And at level 30, she also learns Blood Tide. So, decent skills. But the thing that makes her really strong is the Keep Up. She has 10 movement if she's next to people with Kanto, which is great because she could fly. I don't even think the Acrobat skill actually matters. I think she can fly in general over all terrain. She is a flying style unit. So, personally, I don't see why she needs the Acrobat, unless I'm wrong and she's not actually a flying unit. But as far as I know, she is a flying unit. So, yeah, I would think you would want to get rid of the Acrobat skill as soon as possible. Yeah, very strong. There is really no reason, there really is no reason to not use Anya. Even towards the end, she will literally be one of your best units. Now, she won't be the best unit in the game. Unfortunately, she does cap out, and her growth rates being average at best, she will not be your best unit. However, because of her bases and because of her personal weapons and the fact they don't have durability, she will automatically be your, fill-in unit that you will just straight up put in right away. Maybe not right away, like as soon as you get her, but you will use her. There is no denying that. And therefore, Anya is in the great tier. You cannot argue with me about that. She is just so strong. There is no reason for you not to use her at the point you got her, nor in the future if you want to hold off and you try and get some levels for your other characters. She's just that good. There's no reason not to use her. As far as supports, I think Fire is a pretty good Infinity too, so support bonuses I think are pretty good there as well. Now, I didn't get any supports for her, I don't think, so I don't know if she even has any supports in the game, but if she does, great. If she doesn't, I don't really think she needs them. After all, she'll probably be out there flying everywhere with her 10 movement and just destroying everything. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I think she's an absolute powerhouse of a unit, but that's just through a Seiso run, not necessarily my Yabai run. Obviously I was going to use her, but I died, so that didn't happen. But that is what I think about Anya. I think she's a really powerful unit, and I think she should be used in every single run, obviously for Ironmans and all that stuff. And then we move on to one of our favorite singers in Hololive, Iris. Unfortunately for Iris, she's not a good unit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you guys my brutal, honest thoughts. She is weak. Iris, by the way, what a smile. Just like Gura. At least hers isn't creepy looking. Like, it is not like staring you in the face. In any case, Iris is a Nephilim, a level 5 Nephilim, 40 HP. It's okay, but you look at her defenses, very, very frail, and especially since she's a flyer. So if you fight an archer, you're dead. She is, I'm pretty sure she still counts as a flyer. Yeah, she does count as a flyer, so therefore she will be archered down. Oh no, she has nullify, so it actually doesn't work, but either way, she's still going to get killed. She has nullify, but she's still going to get killed because she has no defenses whatsoever. Speed 16. At this point, some enemies are going to start gaining much higher speed, especially on Yabai. On Yabai, your Iris will probably get doubled from the get-go. And then 14 luck's okay. 17 skill, a little low. I'm not going to lie. You probably want that to be at least in the 20s sooner than later. And then magic is 22. Her growth rates are pretty average, resistance being her best, so that's not good. Con is 11, that's okay. 8 is 10. Now, think about Iris, she's a Nephilim, she's on a Pegasus, right? She's a Pegasus style unit. She can't carry anybody, which sucks. Yet alone, she doesn't even have Kanto. Not even Kanto Plus, Kanto, the regular one. She cannot rescue and then fly away. She literally is a groundish 8 movement unit. Like, kind of disappointing. Like, she has so many things going against her that I don't know if it's really worth using her. Now, that brings us to her skills. Hope. Her Hope skill, allies within 2 tiles recover 20% HP each turn. As I've come to learn, the Hope skill is actually broken. It doesn't actually work. We also get the Hope skill from Sora if she visits a ruins on the chapter you get Sora. That skill is completely broken. It doesn't actually work. Don't throw it away. Sell it. Maybe even put it on the convoy. Maybe it turns into something else. It doesn't actually work. So get rid of the Hope skill. Unfortunately for Iris, I'm pretty sure it's her class skill, or her personal skill, so you can't get rid of it. She comes with Arcane Blade, which is okay, but obviously you don't want to attack with Iris in one range. You want to use magic. To me, with 5 strength, there's no reason to give her a lance, which is one of the weapons she can use. So you definitely want to use magic. So Arcane Blade is actually technically a useless skill. Then you got Shadow Gift and Lumina, which allows her to use S rank Dark and Light Magic automatically. But again, they're skills that provide 0 bonuses. She literally has 4 skill slots that are completely useless to her. 4 completely useless skills. That is crazy. And then of course she has one of the best skills in the game in Nullify. So it's interesting that she's built this way. Instead of giving her Lumina and Shadow Gift, why not just make her magics A automatically or give her S automatically? I don't know. I don't know what the thought process was behind this, but unfortunately Iris, to me, is a really bad unit. I cannot justify using her every run. Now, she at level 30, she does learn Critical Force. I don't remember what Critical Force actually does. Obviously critical, so it probably provides a lot of crit. But she does come with Luna and Divine. Overall, not bad magics. If you do the chapter, obviously, you get Nephilim's Sorrow as well as Seiso's Light from Bloom and Gloom. So automatically, she can use those magics. Great, fantastic. Technically, they do belong to her. However, again, like I said, they're legendary weapons. So why would you want Iris to use them with these stats when you can give it to someone else who probably at this point has better stats? in my opinion, Iris is just a wasted character, unfortunately. And again, 5 strength. She does come with B in Lance, but that's only if you make her use the magic lances. If you give her a physical one, she's gonna suck. I mean, she can barely hold a steel lance. She does get weighed down, so no real point. As sad as it is, I think Iris is a weaker character. The only reason I used her in my Seiso run was because I wanted to get the Bay support with her and see what that was. Because obviously, if you guys know Bay and Iris, it's Bayris. They are a couple, and I wanted to see the conversation between them. Again, Iris being a EN member, she has her supports intact. Therefore, she is very usable as far as supports are concerned. But as a unit, probably better options out there. The bright side is she does have 1 leadership star, but other than that, she is a pretty weak character. Nothing against Iris. I love Iris. She's absolutely funny. But as a unit, I don't think there's any benefit to using her. Now, if you do get the Bayris support, if you guys saw my Seiso run, the support transforms Bay into a Nephilim herself. However, that only benefits Bay because then Bay can fly around, and Bay, as with all of her crits and stuff, if you used her, that just makes Bay one of the most powerful units in the entire game. Like straight up one of the most powerful units in this entire game. That's crazy. Anyways, so me personally, I don't know. I just don't see any reason to use Iris. So in my opinion, as good as she could possibly be if you give her her magics, there's just better options out there. I had to put Iris in bad. She doesn't have Kanto. She can't move again. Can't hardly rescue. She can't really kill. Therefore, kind of lackluster. I really want to put her higher. I really would want to use her more often too. But again, favoritism gets you nowhere here. And unfortunately, Iris, you're a bad unit. I really wish you were better. Not to say you're not cool, but unfortunately, Iris is too weak. Not to mention, when you get her, even then, it's still early-ish in the game. She should be able to help you, but she really can't. Especially in Yabai. In Yabai, she's just useless at this point. So, bad unit. Now, granted, if you get supports, maybe there's something out there that I don't know about that maybe it'll be good for her. But as far as doing the Bayris support, that only benefits Bay. And therefore, Iris gets nothing out of it. And therefore making her stay weak. So, that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments section. Maybe there is something out there that'll make Iris better, but in my expertise, she is not that great. But yeah, shortly after though, on the next chapter, we automatically get our next character, and that is Kanata. There she is. Alright, so Kanata is interesting. I don't know anything about Kanata. I've seen her a couple of times, but not like I've never watched her or seen her for the most part, so I don't know anything about her. Apparently she's got a strong grip though, hence the reason why she has 60 strength. Unfortunately, as an angel, a unique unit class by the way, she doesn't use any weapons, so that 60 strength is just a meme. That's just how it is. Kanata is interesting though, because she can fly. She doesn't need, unlike Anya, she doesn't have the acrobat skill, so she just automatically flies over all terrain. She has Resourceful, Slayer, Death Blow, Desperation, Resolve, and Tone Fair. Pretty much all those skills actually does help her in some fashion. However, again, a level 10 Angel, so she's already halfway to her cap. As far as I know, there is no going past that level 20 cap. For her at least. So, kind of lackluster. The stats you would think would be a little bit higher. Maybe at least like 25 magic, maybe like 22 speed type of thing. But only 23 magic. She won't be able to kill most enemies. 19 speed, she won't be able to double most enemies. And then the defenses tying in with the 0 luck, she's probably going to get critted and therefore die. In my opinion. I just, me personally, I cannot justify using Kanata on a normal basis, especially on Ironman runs. There's too many risks involved with her character, and only having 43 HP, it's not a lot. Give her angelic robe or a Seiso robes in this game. Maybe you can use her, but yeah, that lack of luck is just kind of scary, because that means every enemy you fight will have a crit percentage against her. Ugh, I don't know if you really want that. Now, she does have Resolve though, so with Resolve, it gets a little bit better, right? Because she gets Strength, Skill, and she gets Strength, Skill, and Speed, but again, it's not the greatest. 15 con is good. You would think though, with the 60 strength and a strong grip in her description, maybe her con should have been higher, right? Maybe she should have had like the highest con in the game. Maybe? Excluding Polka, of course. But yeah, in this circumstance, she does not have enough con to justify using her very effectively. Now the bright side is she is a light magic user, so with 15 con, she doesn't lose as much speed with Purge. There is a chance you can double some enemies. That's good, but probably not needed. I mean, most of the time you want your Siege Tomes to do one shot, right? Because you don't want to double. You would prefer if they just straight up killed or chipped an enemy in one hit, not double. So I don't know if you would want that to go for her. But overall, not the best unit for sure. She doesn't learn any other skills. She already has 6. She comes with Shine, Purge, and Elixir when you get her, as well as 8 magic, or light magic I should say, and that's the only thing she learns, is light magic. So again, another one of those units that just fills in a roster spot. If you lost people along the way, she can definitely fill that roster spot, especially as a flyer. She can fly around. You know, that's very useful for sure. But me personally, I just don't think she's all that great. According to the PDF that Hatsuru drew up, it says that you need to use Kanata to visit the house to get Friend C. But as my brother actually demonstrated in his run when I was watching him, you don't need Kanata to actually go visit that village. Or house in this case. So technically you don't need Kanata at all. Except for the fact that the chapter she joined, she's a game over condition. So, other than that, and there's another guidance later on, Kanata is actually not required for the game. Therefore, is in my opinion, average at best, or bad. Given her status as level 10 Angel, I will have to say bad. There isn't much room to grow, and therefore making her a little bit more frail to enemies, more than other people. The bonus is that she has the Slayer skill, and most of the enemies we will end up fighting towards the end game are monsters. So yes, she will be very effective against them, but she won't be your best unit for killing them, because she's just not strong enough to do that. Unless there's something along the way, maybe there's supports or something else, a secret I missed at some point. But as far as I can tell, Kanata is not that great. You have other units. You have better units in your arsenal at this point, probably, or if not, you can train them to be better. Therefore, Kanata is not really required. Therefore, in my opinion, she's not the best unit. She's kind of falls short, and probably it's just a bad unit. Now, like I said, it's borderline. You can easily put her in average, but I kind of want to round out my tier list a little bit just to show you guys that, hey, there are better options out there, right? It's not to say that anyone is technically bad in the game. I just think there's just better options, and unfortunately, there are units that have to fall short, and Kanata is one of those units. But then we go to the other character you get on the chapter, and that is friend C. This is none other than God, my goodness, Kiru Koko. I never watched her. I never seen her. She was before my time with Hololive, so I know nothing about her except for something specific dealing with Marine. If you guys know, you know. She is recruited on the same chapter. She is in the house, and it says to use Kanata, but you don't need to use Kanata. At least I don't think so. And then she's a Maneki. She is the Maneki of the game, so that's kind of cool. She is a dragon. If you guys don't know what she looks like, there you go. I'm showing it on screen now. She comes with the skill Dragon's Blood and Nice Person and personality. So, personality obviously sucks because it's a useless skill. It doesn't do anything. But the Dragon's Blood allows her to use the Dragon Veins on certain maps. Now, there aren't many Dragon Veins. There is not a lot in the game. So, is she required? No. In no way is she required at all. She is an extra unit who tags along because, hey, it will be fun. So, very interesting. At level 20, she does learn Dragon Fang, which is a very powerful attack skill. Just like along the lines of Impale and Luna and those kind of skills. So, very good. Other than that, she has her own Dragon Stone, which, if I remember correctly, had limited uses? I think it had limited uses. So, very bad in that regard. You definitely want to get her the kills if possible. That way she levels up sooner than later. Because then later, she does get a Dragon Stone in a Gaiden chapter that allows her to attack endlessly. It has no durability. So that would be very useful if you train her up that good. She also comes with the Asakoko, which it says in this description, do not use. I forget what it does. I did test it out off video, obviously, and it did something to her stats. I don't remember exactly what it did, but as far as I can remember, I remember thinking, okay, I don't think anyone in the game can actually utilize it because it increased certain stats, but it also decreased certain stats. If I remember that correctly. I don't know for sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section the exact details. But as far as I know, it was actually a very bad item. Hence the reason why it says do not use it. But yeah, that's just it. She's just a Maneki. She has a Dragon Stone. Dragon Stone provides her the strength, her skill, defense, and resistance, making her very tanky from the get-go. Unfortunately, 35 HP is not a lot, even with the 20 defense and 30 resistance. So she does need at least, I would say, at least 3 levels. At least 3 levels to get herself going. Because before that, she is very squishy. She will die, most likely, having been doubled with only 8 speed. So unless you give her coffee to increase her speed, or if she levels up her speed in general, she's not going to be able to fight. So you do need to feed her a few kills, which isn't that difficult considering her attack is really high. So in my opinion, a must-use unit. I didn't use her right away because me personally, I'm not a big Maneki fan, but having seen the power that she can deal, I cannot say she is a bad unit in any fashion. If you have the chance, you should use her. If you get the Gaiden chapter to get her extra weapon, I'm pretty sure it's from the Gaiden chapter, she will literally become one of your strongest units. Give her re-debut in the future as well. There's no stopping her. Now, the only bad thing is her resistance, but again, it's not the lowest stat. So right now it's 30, but she should be able to increase it a couple times, probably at least 5, right? That's 35 resistance. That is good enough for resistance to resist most enemies in the game. Otherwise, the rest of her stats are just going to expand exponentially, making her literally one of your strongest units in the game. Again, you just need to give her the time in the beginning to give her a few kills. After that, boom, she can steamroll the rest of the game for you. With that in mind, I think it is, in my expert opinion, having used her in my Seiso run, and then a little bit in my Yabai run, I have to put her in S tier. If you guys have not used her, you have to use her. You have to try her out. She is absolutely powerful. I think there's a reason why she is so mysterious in this game, and that is one of the reasons why. Manakets usually turn out to be maybe one of the strongest units in any Fire Emblem game, and this is no exception. If you train her, she is definitely S tier. Just like I will obviously get to Super Lapras at the end, S tier, right? Because I don't know if the regular Lapras can be S tier. Mine didn't turn out that way. I mean, she, without a doubt, regular Lapras definitely gets strong, right? But I think Friend C definitely takes the cake for there. I think she can be one of your strongest units in the entire game. And then, of course, stack on top of her stats any rally skills, even if it's just defense. She's just powerful. She's just too strong to be killed, and therefore making her not only a tank but an offensive unit that you can use in any given situation. So that's my opinion, though. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I don't know anything about Coco, but I think she is a very powerful unit, and kind of like a Royal in like Radiant Dawn. I don't know if you really want to use her because I know she'll be strong, but it's kind of cool that she's in the game anyways, considering I don't know anything about her. But I know she has a history, and I know that a lot of fans do like her. So whatever it is that the fans like about her, great. I think she's amazing. I think she's amazing units, and you should always use her in every run, especially if you're doing Ironmans. That's just my opinion. Alright, so now we're getting to the bottom of the list, the end of the game. So we are going to speed up just a tiny bit. A is because half the roster is probably not, going to be your average units, right? So we're going to start with Coyote, because again, we're still going in order of appearance. Coyote is a scientist, level 10. Let's just be honest, very weak unit. She has a niche, and that is to make items, I guess, once per chapter? I don't know. I didn't use her. I have to automatically put her in benched. I didn't use her, so I don't know her potential. I don't know what she does. I don't even know if she has supports. I assume she would have a support with Aqua and or Iroha. But otherwise, me personally, I don't know Coyote, nor do I think she's a good unit. As a level 10 scientist, basically being a mage unit, she doesn't have the stats to compete with the rest of your roster to this point that you get her. The only thing that's great about her is her resistance being 27. Otherwise, she is not the best unit. She comes with skill Culture, Wind Cycle, Tone Breaker, and Insight, making her really good against magic users, but she already has the resistance, so I don't know why you would need Tone Breaker in the first place. That sucks. And she is frail, so she will probably die quickly. Not to mention, on the chapter we get her, she can actually die if Iroha is not protecting her, so very bad. She comes with Fimbulfurter and Luna, so good magic. She has A in Anima, B in Dark, B in Light, and B stays. Weapon ranks are great. However, like I said, there's nothing really outstanding about her. There's no real need to use her. You have other units at your disposal. You will get other units that will be better than her. Spoilers. So, in my opinion, Coyote is just bad. If I had to put her in a category, it would be bad. But I didn't use her. But again, like I said, I'm probably going to do the bench and unused in the end. She will fall into the bad category. She just joins at a bad time, and it's just too overpowered. Now, unless there's a secret something somewhere down the line that I don't know about, I cannot justify using her. She's just not good enough for me. But that's just my opinion. If you guys like Coyote and you guys used her, let me know. Does she turn out good? I don't think she does, but that's my honest opinion. I'm just being a little bit honestly brutal here. Not to mention, as a character in the game, delusional. I was like, I don't like her at all. Her and Aqua are crazy. Just straight up crazy. And I get it, it's for plot convenience, but I don't know, it just didn't seem right. It didn't seem to fit with me, and therefore maybe a little bit biased. I don't think it is, but you know, overall, I just don't think Koyori is the best unit out there. There are way more options for you to choose from, therefore probably not great to use. Her partner in crime, Iroha, she is a level 10 samurai. Obviously, if you guys seen the game, you guys know that Hatsuru likes Iroha. Hatsuru, if you see this, is Iroha your Oshi? I would assume so. Your model is based off of Iroha as well. So, clearly a favorite. Unique class in the samurai. Level 10 though. Again, just like Ayame though, falls short in the defenses. 8 defense, 8 resistance, 40 HP, and only 15 luck, which is not very high. So, chances are, if you get hit, you're gonna die quickly. Now, that's the question though. Will you get hit is the thing. Iroha has some of the best speed in the game, so therefore making her the dodgiest unit outside of Crony and Lapis probably. She comes with the skills Quick Draw, Sword Fair, Astra, Crit Boost, Death Blow, and Nice Thighs. So, overall, really good skills. Very good skills. She also comes with the weapon Chakimaru, which is a unique weapon to her, and a single torch, which is really stupid. I'm so sorry. But she does come with a sword, so she can practically use every sword in the game. Con only being 12 is great. 8, 11, decent. But yeah, that Chakimaru is very strong, and I'm pretty sure it is giving her extra 5 avoidability, if I remember correctly. Quick Draw, plus 4 damage when initiating battle, which makes her even stronger when she attacks. Considering her strength is only 19 at level 10 Samurai, which is basically a Swordmaster class, that kind of sucks. But she does have that, and she has Sword Fair. So that's giving her double attack bonuses. That's 8 attack on top of her 19 strength and the Chakimaru and or any other weapon she uses, therefore giving her actually quite a bit of attack right off the get-go. She also has the Astra, which will do 5 attacks at half damage, which is skill activated. At this point, with Chakimaru, she has a 50% skill activation, which is absolutely insane. So Astra will most likely proc every single time you use it. Even if you don't use the Chakimaru, it will most likely activate every single time. Now, the drawback with Astra is that it does use a sword use per attack, and that's at half damage. So unless she is getting criticals, she is wasting your swords away. So unless you have a good supply of swords in your inventories, she is going to be using all of them up, making it a double-edged sword skill. Astra is always, to me, a double-edged sword skill. You can waste your weapons away at the chance that you just destroy your opponents, or just don't use Astra and just just don't use the character and you save on those weapons. Me personally, as I've mentioned before, I'm not a big Swordmaster user. I just personally don't think swords are the greatest, and of course, in Iroha's case, she isn't the best unit out there. Look at those stats. Level 10 Samurai. No doubt she is cool. I don't deny that. She is absolutely cool. But me personally, I had other options already. Again, as a fill-in unit, easily Iroha is a good fill-in unit. Easily. You can just throw her in there, and with the amount of void she has, she won't be touched. Very good. But me personally, I'm not a big Swordmaster fan. I rather have people who are balanced, who can survive in any given situation. If Iroha does get hit, she will get hit hard, and therefore may even die in 2 hits. And that's just the honest truth. Now, I personally did not use Iroha, so I cannot rate her. So again, just like Koyori, she's going in the bench section. But if I did use her, probably above average. Probably. If she can level up all of her stats at a decent rate, because they're not like dead red, right? If she can level up her stats at a decent rate for her remaining levels, especially the skill and speed, without a doubt, she will probably never get touched. And then, of course, if you I'm assuming the Chakimaru can be her Mern, and if you can, then she has an endless supply of sword, and she'll be one of your best units for sure. So she could be as high as Great, or even S tier, maybe, with all that void, but I don't know for sure. So above average for now would be the max, but benched for now because I did not use her. That's just being fair. We also have Aqua. If you were able to obtain her, by using Sora twice, and then of course defeating her successfully, then this is the Aqua we get. She is an example of one of those units that gets slightly weaker when you recruit her than the actual boss form, but that's okay. I don't have any real issues with that. It's only natural, at least in her case. She is a level 10 maid, 40 HP, 12 defense, 10 resistance, 12 luck. So again, a little bit in question on the survivability. However, she does have 33 speed, so she will double all enemies as well as not be doubled. And chances are she could probably avoid to get out of trouble. Therefore, her defenses being average actually is okay. 26 skill, 21 magic, and 21 strength, therefore making her allowed to use any sword in the game, because she does come with A, so therefore she can use both magic and physical equally without any issues. She comes with 2 leadership stars as well, so you definitely want to use her for that, especially in a Yabai difficulty run. She comes with skill Relief, Vanity, Hero, Aether, Miracle, and Sword Fair. Relief recovers 20% HP each turn if there are no allies within 2 tiles. That's fantastic, but again, not really required because you should have healers anyways. The Hero skill plus 30% skill activation rate when HP is below 50%. Again, you kind of don't want her to be below 50% anyways, because you might end up getting yourself killed if you're that low. But skill activating with Aether, chances are you'll probably destroy whoever you fight at that point. So chances are you'll probably get your HP back. In a way, she can be both tanky and survive, or she could just slaughter some enemies. Either way, it's pretty good. And then, yeah, Miracle probably being her weakest skill, as I mentioned before. Probably don't need it, because with 33 speed, she won't be doubled. Therefore, Miracle really won't apply, because she won't be one-shotted by any enemy. Therefore, Miracle is useless, because she won't get doubled. It's just how it is, right? Just like the Barricade skill. Useless for people with speed, because it doesn't apply. But overall, Aqua is actually a pretty strong unit. She comes with a Wind Sword and Elixir. She doesn't learn any other skills. She is a fill-in unit. You get her, you use her. Just straight up, that's how it works. I unfortunately did not get her in my Seiso run, so I don't know how good she can be. And when I did get her in my Yabai run, I didn't have the chance to use her yet. So, unfortunately, in my experience, benched and unused once more. Again, I do apologize. I really wish I could do a complete tier list for you guys with every character, but as you guys can clearly see, there is a huge roster of characters, and honestly, after I would say one full run in Seiso difficulty, half run in Yabai, and multiple starting, chapter 10 runs, there's no way I could have possibly been able to play this game over and over and over again and be able to rate everybody. It would take me years to do that. So for a beginning list, I think this is great the way we're going. If I'm being completely honest, I think it's fair, but I do want to test out and see all these units. Aqua is also obviously one of those characters. I mean, 2 leadership stars is so strong. I would definitely want to add that to my arsenal. It's just unfortunate I didn't get the opportunity to do so because of the fact that I died during the extra guiding chapters. Chapter 21s? 22s? I forget which one it was. Chapter 21s, I believe. So, I didn't have the chance. But if I had to rate her, definitely going to be up there. I do think she can be a strong unit. even giving her a re-debut, or even changing her skills out a little bit here and there, like getting rid of the miracle, you can definitely make her a really powerful unit. Now, as a maid, I don't think there's any other class after maid, so that would suck. But overall, she's not expected to be like your best unit, probably. She's just kind of a fill-in unit, right? So it's not surprising. So, anyways, we move on. Next up, we have Iofi. So starting off, so I was right. Starting off with the Gaiden chapters now. After that, Iofi is the first one we get, the Among Us character. She is a level 20 crewmate, so she does not gain any levels, which doesn't matter because her growth rates are abysmal. But she comes strong anyways. I actually don't remember. Did I get 2 of these? Iofi does come with hard mode bonuses. I did not get her stats, actually. I do believe the stats we are looking at right now, these are her hard mode bonuses, therefore making her a little bit stronger than her Seiso difficulty counterpart, which is good because in Yabai you definitely need the extra hard mode bonuses. Very slight though, very slight. But yeah, Iofi. She has cultured, quick draw, and ideology, which is okay. She doesn't learn anything. She comes with the Sus claws and Glock gun, so she can attack at range as well as close combat. Again, with the 32 strength, 30 skill, 33 speed, she is very powerful. The 23 luck will prevent her from getting crit by most enemies, and the 25 defense is pretty solid with 73 HP. That's really strong. Iofi has room to be molded in a way you want, considering she has some skill slots open. And yeah, if you really need a strong fill-in unit, like a strong fill-in unit, Iofi is there. Honestly, no arguments for me. I think she is really strong, and if you need someone to just help you kill things, she's perfect. She will most likely double all enemies, and not to mention will probably just kill them outright on her own. That's the only bad part. She doesn't get any EXP. So if you have re-debuts, maybe consider using one on her. She may be able to get more strength, skill, and speed, as well as HP to help make her even more powerful. But other than that, she's already a unit that you can just throw in at any given time, even in the end game, and she'll be good. So, in my opinion, she's not S tier. By no means is she S tier. But in my opinion, she is great. You cannot deny. Like, if Anya is great, that means Iofi is also great. You have to use her. Well, I guess you don't have to, but if you're doing Ironman runs, Iofi is a must use. You have to use her. She's just too good not to be in your lineup. And yeah, she's just super powerful. So, I don't know anything about Iofi. Hell, I don't even think I've ever watched her. I know she joined a Cali stream once when she was playing Getting Over It. So, that's the only time I've ever heard or seen Iofi, really. But other than that, yeah, I don't have any knowledge on Iofi. But she is cool. She's an alien style unit in this game. It's kind of interesting. In any case, next up is someone who I did not expect to be in the game, and that is Tsukumo Sana. She is one of the original council members of Holo En, and she is in the game. Unfortunately, I am so sorry. What is with her profile picture? She looks like a guy. I have to throw up a different picture because Hatsuru, you did this one bad. I'm so sorry. Sana looks like a guy. I don't like it. Any case, Sana is in the game. Level 15 Sage. You get her a little late, but she does come with some skills that helps her stay relevant. Not to mention, she is actually pretty strong. As a level 15 Sage, she has 64 HP, which is very, very high for a mage user in the first place. Unfortunately, her magic is a little lackluster in 26. You would hope that it would be closer to 30s, considering the stat bars can go higher. Skills 29, speed 20, very bad actually speed that is, speed. Luck 21, defense 21, and resistance 27, so pretty average defenses in that regard. She comes with nice personality as one of her main skills, which is terrible. I am just realizing I do not have all of her skills in my list. I don't remember what the third one is, but she does have focus per normal mage skill, reposition, nullify, and deviant avoid. Deviant avoid, when HP is 25% or lower, gain 30 avoid. So obviously that is very strong because she has decent speed and luck. Add on top of the fact that she gets 30 extra void, she probably won't get hit when she's low HP, but you don't want her going that low in the first place, obviously. So, not the best unit by any means, right? But she is pretty good. She comes with A Anima and B Light magic with B staves. She starts with a Fimbulfitor and Elixir until you get her personal weapon back, which you get right away, actually. You can get it right away. And then she also gets a second one later on as well. So that's kind of interesting. So she probably will not need extra magic. She'll have her own personal weapon twice. So that's fantastic considering how close you are to the end game. But yeah, not the best unit. Now, I used her in my Seiso run because obviously it's Sana. You have to use her, right? There's no reason not to. Sana is a special, a very special person in Hololive, and if anyone watches any of the old Hololive stuff, you guys know that everyone loved her. I don't think there's anyone who didn't like her. She is just such a good-hearted person, and 0% reason to ever hate her or dislike her. Sana was just a unique soul, and everyone misses her. And even now, today, there's even some JP members who never even met her, who say they actually had a chance to meet her, and they still had a fun time talking with her and, you know, enjoy her company. So, very sad that Sana's gone, but she is still around, and she is, you know, still hanging around with some Hololive members. Fantastic. In any case, about the game, unfortunately, not the best unit, but she is still very strong. Again, as late as she comes, she can still be a fill-in unit. Having 26 magic and having B staves, she can easily be a healer if you need her to be, or a staff user of any kind. So it's not horrible, but she's definitely not the strongest unit. At this point, at a level 15 Sage, she would be considered only average, unfortunately. But it's not to say she can't be used. Me personally, probably still strong, but not great. Not great at all. Going into the future runs, I don't think I would ever use Sana unless I lost units along the way. But if you need someone to fill in a spot with a staff or even magic, she's definitely a unit to use. Not to mention her personal weapon as well, which I forget what it's called, but I think it was pretty strong, right? It's pretty strong in general, so very useful. And it can be Hermern as well. So Sana, very, very good units overall. Next up, we have Mel. We get to the Academy, I believe it was called, and we get 2 druids. Mel being the first one. She's a level 10 druid. You guys can see her stats. Exponentially high magic. Whoa. And resistance. And skill is pretty good. Defenses are pretty good. 15 luck is okay, but the 24 defense and 30 resistance is phenomenal. 56 HP is great. 23 speed probably won't be doubled, but you also probably won't be doubling because then you also have 8 con. But Mel is pretty good units. Unfortunately, Mel comes in really late. So me personally, I didn't have a spot for her to be in the roster guaranteed. There's just other units you have at this point, right? Now, if you lose units or you really need someone to fill in, she's perfect. She has A dark magic, B anima magic, but only C in staves, which sucks because at this point, that's probably something you would want her to have, at least B, so she can use a physic. But she doesn't have that. Her skills are Life Taker, Malefic Aura, Charm, Resolve, White Pool, and Nice Personality. Obviously, that white pool is very useful. Being a mage unit who is pretty defensive, you can put her towards the front line, she'll be okay. Giving her allies next to her the attack speed and attack. Fantastic ability. I didn't use Mel, but after reviewing the character herself, again, this is only based off of one experience, and that is my Seiso difficulty run. One obtained. I think she's actually a pretty good unit in retrospect. I didn't use her, but she definitely would be higher on my list for sure when I rate her. But for now, I put her in the bench section because I kind of want to just get over with the characters and explain everything about them. But if I didn't use them, I cannot give you a fair review, so put her there for now. But overall, she is actually a pretty good unit. I don't deny that she can be very useful. That 37 magic, which is 3 away from cap, is just so good. There's no reason not to use her if you get her, right? She can literally hit and kill almost anything she fights. And next up is Toa. Again, just like Mel, Toa's the same boat. I don't know anything about them. But Toa is a very interesting case. She is a level 10 druid as well. However, contrary to Mel, her stats are actually very lackluster. Less in everything, except for defense, and especially the HP department. But Toa doesn't fight. Now, I don't know anything about Toa. Let me know why she doesn't fight. Is there a reason she is against it? Because specifically, I think it says that she's against violence, right? Why is that? Is that a actual thing? I don't know. I don't know anything about Toa, so I don't know for sure what that reasoning is. But she still has her uses. Toa comes with A staves, making her one of the best staff users in the game. And even though she only has 30 magic, that's 15 range for most of the staves, which is fantastic range. She comes with Fortify, Hit Plus Staff, Rescue, and Elixir. So already has the staves to support you from the get-go. She comes with the skills Holy Aura, Power Staff, and Inspiration. So as we know, Power Staff, if you use the staff, you get an extra turn. So making her one of the best staff users in the game automatically. Contrary to, for example, Miko, who has to be next to Ame or a nice thighs person in order to move again on a second action. Toa just uses the staff and she could do it twice. So very strong in that regard. Inspiration, allies with 2 tiles deal +2 damage and receive -2 damage. So it's basically kind of like the half and half of what Fauna's capability, or what her unique skill is, and taking it, transferring a little bit of damage, more damage taken to an extra damage against, but in 2 spaces. So it's pretty good skill. Very strong support unit for sure. So personally, that being said, again, I didn't use Mel and Toa as much. I did use Toa in the end though, because of her staff capabilities. So that being said, I can rate Toa, and I am going to put her actually in the above average. She can't fight, but she is a great staff user. The power staff alone makes her a must-use character, in my opinion, even as late as she joins. And of course, as a level 10 druid too. But of course, as a staff user only, you will keep her in the back, and with her high magic, she will be able to use the staves no problem. She is perfect. She's capable of doing everything you need her to do with staves, and unless you don't need the staffs, then okay. But otherwise, I think Toa is a must deploy if you are using staves for any situation, and therefore making her a very above average character to use. If I had to put her in a different category, it would probably be niche, because that's all she does. But I could argue she could be a great character. I could argue that. because no other character in the game gets Power Staff, as far as I know. Because I made my characters bishops, and they didn't get Power Staff. And then of course Battle Sages. I don't know if Battle Sages even get Power Staff because I think I maxed out my Miko almost, right? So she didn't get Power Staff. Therefore, I think Toa, that's a unique skill to her and enemy bishops. So making her have one of the most powerful skills I can think of in the game, and that's just incredible. So that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but let me know what you guys think. I think it's a phenomenal skill, making Toa one of the best units in the game for staves. So arguably great. I'm putting her in above average, but also could be categorized as niche because that's all she does. And again, it's not like she's the most survivable type of unit. She isn't the strongest defensively, so she still can die. It's just she probably won't be out there in the front lines in the first place, right? So that's my reasoning behind her being where she is. Alright guys, we are down to the final three, the big three, starting off with the weakest of the three, unfortunately. We have Callie herself, the Grim Reaper. She is a level 20 The Reaper with 80 HP, 40 strength, 24 magic, 37 skill, 23 speed. The luck sucks. I'm not gonna lie, that luck is pretty abysmal. But with 37 defense and 39 resistance, she's probably not even taking damage in the first place. And then of course she has some skills to help her out as well. She has 5 leadership stars, so she is absolutely a must-use unit as soon as you get her. Like 0% reason not to use her. An 18 con with 17 H, she can rescue most of your units, and then she can also capture. Oh, of course, at the end game, you probably weren't capturing anyways in the first place. So very strong unit. She doesn't learn any other skills. She does come with her own unique weapon, Ricky. I didn't know that was what the scythe was called, to be honest. But she does have S-Axe, so if you don't want to use Ricky, then you can use S-Axes as well. She comes with skills Savage Blow, Summon, Sword Breaker, Axe Fair, Frenzy, and Resolve. So, Savage Blow, after attacking enemies within 2 tiles... after attacking enemies within 2 tiles, receive 20% damage. We see that skill activate with the Gore monsters, which sucks because that thing is overpowered as hell. Oh no, that's after combat. This one is enemies within 2 tiles take 20% damage. So she does it to multiple units. It's basically the scythe going to work and slice it across an AoE area, right? So that's pretty cool. I believe the scythe is its own weapon, so it doesn't actually apply to the Swordbreaker. So having Swordbreaker really doesn't matter because most units don't have swords, and even if they do, really is not going to do any damage. So it's kind of a useless skill for her. Then we have Axe Fair, Frenzy, and Resolve. So yeah, very strong unit overall. Again, the lack of luck and speed is a little unfortunate, but a must use, straight up. I mean, you can't tell me she's not powerful. And then of course she can summon. So I mentioned before about Rushia and Shion, and even if you made Risu or even Azuki summoners, you can have an army of the undead, which is crazy. In my opinion, Callie should have been able to do like double summons, like summon 2 summons in a single map. Not single turn, but in a single map. She should be able to summon 2, considering she's the Grim Reaper. So, that is a little unfortunate, but overall, her niche for summoning is absolutely insane. I personally should have utilized that way more than I did. Unless I didn't because it was broken? I don't remember it being broken though, but if it wasn't, then I should have used it way more than I did. Would have actually saved Muna's life in my Seiso run. But yeah, without a doubt, you have to put Callie in S tier. I mean, straight up, she is strong, more powerful than most of your units will be at this point. So she's a must use automatically. Yeah, no reason not to use her, for sure. And then following after that, we have, in my opinion, Super Lapras. There she is. Now, what I'm showing on screen is the base stats of Lapras when we get her back as an ally after we defeat her. I don't know if this is a reflection of my other Lapras being strong. I really don't know. That is something that I would have to do another playthrough to confirm. Hence the reason why I put the other Lapras in average/niche, because I don't know if this Lapras is the same as that one, or if this is automatic. But you guys can clearly see from my Lapras here as a level 1, 93 HP, and then she already has cap stats. Again, luck can only be capped at 30, so she cannot go higher than that. She has a leadership star. She has all the skills required to make herself even more powerful. There's no reason to say that Lapras is not literally the strongest character in the entire game. And I'm talking the entire game. Even stronger than Crony. In some circumstance. Obviously, get Lapras' stats all capped out, then of course she is much stronger than Crony, because Crony cannot do that. But Lapras is, without a doubt, the strongest character in the game. She doesn't learn anything after she returns to us, nor does she come with any extra inventory either. She does have S Dark and D Anima and D Staves though when we get her, so that's weird. But she is automatically your best staff user. After that, the best dark magic user, and yeah, she has Paragon, Aptitude, Tome Fair, Anathema, and Corona. Anathema is -10 avoid and dodge to all enemies within 3 tiles. So basically a better Daunt, per se. She's just powerful. I mean, there's really no reason not to use her. She is the most powerful character in the entire game. Not much more can be said. Straight up, like I said, there's going to be more rapid fire because she is the strongest character in the entire game. She's automatic S tier. Heck, if there was even tier higher, I would say she's SS tier. She's in a class of her own. There is no reason not to have her in your lineup once you get her back, because she can literally kill every single enemy you ever face for the rest of the game. That's how it is. And last but not least, the time wizard herself, Uro Crony, at least a version of her per se. She is categorized as Warden, a level 20 Warden. Just like Lapras, or Super Lapras, uber strong. She will not be touched. She has max speed, she has max luck, and therefore she's just not going to be touched at all. She also has 20 leadership stars. Therefore, countering out pretty much every leadership star your enemy will have on the field. She also has the skills Perfectionist, Miracle, Nice Personality, Astra, and Aether. So on top of having cap, strength, skill, and speed, she also has Aether to make her destroy her opponents without any issues, because this Aether is skill activated. So automatically she's going to destroy them. She has Astra, so she can get Aether 5 times even in a single attack. That's just crazy. Perfectionist is plus 15 hit and avoid when user's HP is at maximum. So on top of being avoidability like crazy, she's rating 15 more. And I think her weapon, the Clock Hands, gives her even more avoidability, if I remember correctly. So alongside Lapras, Crony is literally the next strongest character in the entire game. I don't even think it's possible to even die. I think the only way Crony could die is against the Demon King himself at his full strength. I think even if you take out at least one gate, Crony cannot die, if I remember correctly. Now, that's in Seiso run. In Yabai, that's obviously going to be different, but not much more needs to be said about Crony. As sad as it is to just rush through this, there really isn't anything to be said more about Crony. She is straight up S tier, second best unit in the game in my opinion. Maybe with the clock hands she is considered the best unit, but as far as the unit without weapons is considered, Crony is, in my opinion, the second best unit in the game after Super Lapis and then Callie. Of course, other characters like Frenzy could be up there too. Maybe even Commander Noel can be up there as well. But yeah, clearly in a league of their own, those top three. I mean, was Amy any question? Probably not, right? In any case, there is my official Holo Emblem, the Search for Seiso tier list. Unit tier list. Now, that's just based on my 2 experiences, in which case I've only finished the game once. So some things could be biased, some things could be wrong, but out of my 2 runs, this is where I'm at. Now, I did say that I will organize these characters, so give me a moment to take a drink, and I'll get right to that. Alright guys, so I'm a little refreshed. Now, we are going to proceed with the bottom characters, the benched / unused characters. Now, as I mentioned throughout the video, throughout this video, some of the characters I did categorize already, and there are some characters above that I didn't even use, or I hardly used, and I categorized them, such as like Rushia, Shion, Okayu, etc, etc, etc. I didn't use them, but I categorized them anyways because they did have some of their uses, and or they have something going for them that makes them very, usable in some fashion. So we'll start with, again, in order of appearance and or order of I put them there. Roboko. So again, if I'm being brutally honest, Roboko's bad. I cannot categorize her anywhere else. She is the second Jagan unit of the game. You get her, she can't even survive her own chapter. If you guys watched my my Seiso run, part 3, I'm pretty sure it was her that she was the one who got killed by a mage in her debuting chapter. In which case, she is the second Jagan unit and she died to a mage. That is sad. I think it was her. And if you can't even survive your debut chapter, that's kind of terrible as a second class unit. So Roboko's pretty bad. I didn't get the chance to use her, but her stats just don't scream great. And contrary to Reine, who has rally speed, Roboko doesn't do anything for anyone else, therefore making her a standoff unit that is not good, in my opinion. Obviously her boomstick is great, negates defense, but unless you invest in her, I just don't think it's worth it. And as far as I know, there's no secret stat boosts that can raise her up even more. So unfortunately, she's a bad unit. Next up is Azuki. As I mentioned before, she will automatically go into the above average section. She's practically the exact same thing as Watsume. They're the same unit. One's a bard, one's a dancer. Same unit. The only thing different about Azuki is she has an opportunity to transform into a light mage or a shaman. And if you do that, well, there you go, you got another magic user. But as we see throughout the entire game, you really don't need more magic users. So it's probably preferable, especially given how many chapters our armies are split off in half. You probably want to keep her a dancer. Therefore, having 2 separate armies with bard / dancer who can give your units more abilities or a chance to attack a second time, or act a second time. So above average automatically. Honestly, both of them could automatically be put into great because that's just the unit class, right? But that's just what it is. Next up is Lamy. Again, I didn't really use her, but as far as her stats, a little under compared to other staff users. Personally, I think she's just average. If you need a fill-in character, easily you could just transform her. She could be a fill-in character. She's level 15 at start, so she's not horrible, just not great. You have Miko, who is practically the same unit, but Miko has Paragon, so just use Miko. No reason to use Lamy. No reason to use Lamy. Other than that, I don't think Lamy has anything going for her, if I'm being completely honest. She doesn't really have anything that stands out, therefore average. Just average character. Next up is Louis. I didn't use Louis, but my brother did. And if I'm putting Noelle in S tier, mostly because of the Super Noelle, the commander form, then Louis, I will automatically have to put her in the great section. Because she doesn't, as far as I know, she doesn't have that super commander form, right? Therefore, Louis would be your next best tank. Having not only the capability to tank stuff as a general, but she has the speed, so she won't get killed or doubled. Now that being said, she still gets the barricade skill as a knight, so that will be useless. But then you can get rid of it, I think, or it gets rid of itself when you transform into a general. So making her much better. No reason not to use her if you don't have Noelle, in my opinion. Like, she technically, as far as knight class is concerned, Louis is the better knight, except for the fact that Noelle can use axes. But then as a final class form, Noelle takes the cake with her commander form. Louis would be your next best bet for a tank, for sure, as far as generals are concerned, or, you know, like, even like Gura as well. So Louis, definitely a great unit, in my opinion. Pekora, again, as I mentioned, she is very frail. I would only consider her average. She has a niche, that is to be a thief. I cannot say she can be any higher than that. Again, even Chloe, Zeta, Mume, even they're better than her. Even though I put Mume in this section as well. Pekora is just too weak. The only benefit is she has leadership stars, but it's not great. She's just so frail, and she's level 17 thief when you get her. You don't have the chance to mold her into a way that she can be better than other units. Therefore, I think Pekora is just average. Not to say she can't be good. Her skill allows her to do 2 actions in a single turn by luck chance. You know, that's phenomenal. I mean, that's just amazing. But it's a luck chance, so it's not guaranteed. And then B, you take damage when you do use it. And then C, she's already frail, so taking damage is not the best thing. So I don't know. It's not great. So she has to fit there, I think. Next up is Kobo. And like I said before, I don't really know anything about Kobo as far as capabilities. So I would put her in the average for now. I can see her being very strong. She has a specific way to be strong, but I think there's too much risk involved with the con being so low that I don't know if you really want to use her as a frontline type of unit. But if she can become strong, then maybe above average would be your best bet as far as max potential. But I think average is a pretty good space. I think for most of the units in the game are, you know, they can be considered average. There's just some that have a little bit something that gives them a little extra spice, that gives them to the above average or the great section. For example, like Fauna, for example, I rated her in my first video. She's not necessarily up there in the great section because of my personal bias. You get her early. She's a level 1, 2 archer. She can be molded in a way that you will be satisfied. She's not only strong from the get-go, but she also gets a unique weapon from the get-go that is absolutely broken and can be Hermerned. And for example, characters like Kobo, they don't get that, and so you really don't have a chance to make her as powerful as she could possibly have been had you got her in the beginning as a shaman. But that's just my opinion. Same thing with like Rushia. You don't get her as a low level shaman. You get her as a high level shaman. So she too doesn't have a chance to grow properly, therefore being average. But that's just how I think. Next up is Gura. Again, another great option for a tank if you need it. I'm going to put her in the above average. If you take all considerations of her skills, as well as her personal weapon, the Trident, she is an absolute powerhouse of a unit. She also gets Impale, which is skill activated, so you're dealing 4 times damage automatically. That's more than enough damage to probably kill any enemy in the game. And if you use her even more, hell, if you even give your raid debuts, she will become a really powerful unit. So there's no reason to not use her unless you already have other tanks such as Louis and Noelle. But without a doubt, I think Gura can be a very, very powerful unit. I just wish it was a little bit better. Maybe not handled, but like maybe if we got her sooner, per se. But obviously, that's not something that can just happen, right? The pirate ship type of chapters always happen in the middle of the game, kind of in the middle, beginning, middle, and that's kind of where we got her as well. So, in all fairness, it was a good spot, but that also means unless you lost people, you're never really going to plan to use Gura, because you already have other people who are filling the roles to get to that point. You know, without Noelle or without Louis, you aren't getting past Yabai chapter 10. Like, you're just straight up not getting past Yabai chapter 10. It's just not possible. So you need units like that to survive, and if you still have them, Gura is not going to be used. In a Seiso run, sure. In Yabai, no. Next up is Ayame. As I mentioned before, as a Swordmaster class, she is a bit weaker and frail, but outside of the 7 first turns, she is a little bit lackluster unless she levels up phenomenally. But that being the case, she's only good for the beginning of a game, for the beginning of a chapter, in which case most chapters are going to go way beyond the 7 turns. Therefore, I think personally I have to put her in average. I was playing maybe above average, but thinking about it, she's not the best, right? Iroha, for example, is just so much better than that. So therefore, if Iroha is going to be better, then Ayame has to be somewhere else below. And I think Ayame has a good fit here. Koyori, as I mentioned, bad unit. Join time is bad. Level is bad. Stats are bad. Her niche of creating an item per chapter, I assume, is pretty bad. Because I got a Zedman on the chapter we get her. If that's the max of what she's giving us, I don't see the reason why we want to use her, because we really don't need Zedmans. Vulneraries and Elixirs and even Seisos are good enough, so Zedmans are kind of useless. I'd rather just sell them for money. And therefore, is there really any point to using Koyori? Maybe she makes better, maybe she'll make a stat boost? I don't know. If she does, that'd be great, but as far as her is concerned, as a unit, I cannot justify using her. There's just way better mage units out there that she just gets outclassed completely. So no reason to use Koyori, she's a bad unit. Iroha, on the other case, as I mentioned, if Ayame is an average character, Iroha can be either above average or even great. I personally didn't use her, so I cannot say for sure. But with all the things considered, I will put her in great. There's a reason why a little bit more love was given to Iroha in the game, and that's because Hatsuru likes Iroha. Therefore, I probably have not seen the max potential that Iroha can give a single run. She probably deserves to be in great no matter what, yet alone maybe even S tier. So borderline great and above average for me, but I will put her in great in all fairness, and I think she can be as strong as she can be advertised to be. That Chakimaru weapon, as well as the Astra and avoidability in general, is just too powerful. That's literally along the lines of Crony. If Crony is so strong, I think Iroha would be the next best, sword dodging user at the same time. Next up is Aqua. Again, I didn't have the chance to utilize her, so I really don't know for sure. Not as strong as Iroha though, but she has more versatility, right? She has better skills that allow her to do more things. But as a sword user equally, I don't see her being too powerful. So I'm going to go with above average. I think Iroha is still better therefore Aqua has to be a little bit under, a little bumped under, going down. Again, you don't need Aqua. I didn't need her during my Seiso run, so you don't really need her. There really isn't anything too special about her that you are required to really use her, so yeah, no real point to having her go way and above and beyond. But of course, like I said, I didn't use her, but based on my personal opinions and everything I've seen about her, above average is a pretty good spot. She can easily fill in a spot if you need her to, as well as use most swords, both magic and physical, so easily a throw-in character. And then last but not least is Mel, and again, with the magic she possesses, above average. Has to be above average. Easily can just throw her in, she'll do everything you need except for long range healing. Other than that, she is strong powerhouse type of unit. Not necessarily a glass cannon, she has good defenses. Just really strong, not going to be your frontliner, but very strong support for both chipping as well as a little bit of staff using. So above average for sure. If you do use her a lot towards the end game, she can go up to great as well, but as far as I'm concerned, I think above average is a pretty good spot for her. And there you have it, my full unit tier list without the benched and unused section. So this is just based off of one full Seiso run and then a half Yabai run, as well as multiple attempts through chapter 10 in both Seiso and Yabai. So not the best experience, I'm going to tell you guys right now. Not the best experience, but as far as playing the game, which was a lot of fun, by the way. If you guys still haven't played it, play the game. See for yourself who you like, who you know, do you guys agree with where I put the units? I think this is a pretty good definitive list for most of the characters. Obviously not all, and I'm not going to say my list is 100% correct. Every character can be S tier in someone's eyes, right? Everybody can be an S tier. But in my fairness, I think this is a pretty good rounded out list. Obviously you got most units in the average to above average section, give or take units having something that makes them better or worse than other units. You have your few bad characters, because every game has a few of them. In my opinion, that's just how it goes. Then you got a few of those greats that automatically have that top tier spot, and then you have your best units in the game, or have something about them that makes them the best unit. So just like, unlike the four on the right side, Kiara, Noelle, and Polka has something that makes them even better if you get them, right? Noelle has the commander form, Kiara has the rally spectrum, and Polka is your convoy. Otherwise, I think this is a pretty fair list. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys like this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I had a lot of fun making this. It was a lot of work, that's for sure, and I had a lot of talking to do. My throat is killing me, but that's why I did it in 2 parts, because holy crap, that was a lot of talking. But yeah, I love the game. This is the talking section, so I love the game. I had so much fun with it. It's not the best game ever made by any means, but for a combination of Fire Emblem and Hololive, it was so much fun. I am so happy I found this game and I got to play it. Hatsuru, you did a really good job. I really hope you continue to improve upon this game and make it even better. I know you're making a lot of changes to it, to a future version of it, but either way, fun game. I loved it. I love all these characters. I love that each of them had their sprites, their own unique stuff that goes with them. It was just phenomenal. I loved it. Even the portraits, good job on most of them. I wouldn't say all of them, but most of them. I thought everyone had some pretty good something going for them, right? Yeah, I loved it. Like Sana, maybe not the best appearance, but I didn't even expect to see Sana in the game. That's crazy. That right there is awesome. or even like Coco. I don't know anything about Coco, but I know that she didn't leave on the best terms with Hololive, I believe, and that's good recognition. She's recognized as Friend C. She doesn't even go by Coco. That's kind of cool, you know, to me at least, as someone who doesn't know her. It's like a reputation thing. Like, okay, she'll come in and help us if we need the help, and yeah, for sure, she's S tier in my opinion. You know, and so on, so forth about any other characters too. I just thought this was really well made. The dialogue was pretty good. I wish more supports were in the game though, because supports, while I don't get them in every Fire Emblem game, the dialogue between characters is what helps build the story, helps build the world. And unfortunately, with only EN having all their supports intact, I was kind of saddened by that, because some ID, some JP members, you know, they need that extra love. I especially the more popular ones, you know, I feel like there should have been more supports, and even to this point, I feel like it's a little bit of a letdown that some of them did get more. But you know, again, it's a fan-made game, right? It's not a AAA game by any means, by a AAA company. But overall, I think this game was well made. It did a really good job fleshing out all the characters that were, you know, not only in Hololive but in the game itself. And I have no complaints about, you know, how everything was done. I'm not a game developer, so I can't really complain about that. But obviously, there's things I hate. But I'm not going to say, yeah, this was just a bad game because of all of that. This was a great game, regardless that I don't consider it a 10, 9, or 8 rated. Like I mentioned before, probably 6 or 7 if I had to rate the game entirely. But 6 is above average, 7 is a good game, and is definitely a good game. So, yeah, this will probably be it for Holo Emblem for a while for me. Maybe. No one really actually responded to me about my Yabai run finish, so I don't know if people want to see me continue it or not. I don't plan to do that at this point. Considering that no one, especially the people who were watching with when I was posting those videos, no one really responded to me continuing, so I personally will take a break from Holo Emblem, and I will try to come back. I will either do a Seiso run to use some of the unused characters, or I'll try again on Yabai and see how far we can get. Because as a Fire Emblem player, I want to get perfection, and I've done the other Fire Emblem games, right? Blazing Sword, Binding Blade, Sacred Stones, Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn. I've done all 5 of those Ironman on video. Not official streams, of course, so you guys don't know if I'm lying or not, but what's the point of me lying, right? I'm just doing this as a fan. My channel's not monetized or anything, so I'm just doing this for fun. There's no point in me lying. But I did all 5 of those already, and even my Seiso run was unofficial because Ollie did die, and then of course I didn't finish Yabai. So I do want to finish the game in Ironman run, whether if it's Seiso or Yabai. Obviously Yabai would be the better achievement for sure. But until then, I will keep trying. I'll keep playing the game. It's so much fun, especially the first half of the game. So much fun. But yeah, if you guys have the chance, play the game. Look at these units. Tell me if you guys agree with the list. Tell me if you guys disagree with the list. And who do you guys disagree with? Let me know. I want to talk about this stuff because I think every single girl can be someone better than what I put, right? Everyone could be S tier in some fashion, in someone's heart, right? Even if I mean, yes, Kiara is my Oshi, but that's not because she's my Oshi, she's an S tier. You know, I still think she is one of the best units. Whereas, for example, like Mume. Me and my brother love Mume, but I'm just being honest, she's not the best unit, even though you get her in the beginning like you do with Fauna. That's just the way it goes. So, you know, there's always room for improvements. There's always room for everyone else's opinion. and I think to me this is a pretty fair list. But if you don't agree, let me know. I want to talk about it. But that's going to be it for now. Thank you guys for sticking around with this long. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and play the game if you haven't already. Stay tuned for whatever I have next. Like I said, probably not going to do Holo Emblem. But if I do, great. If I don't, stay around for whatever comes next. And have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.